Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with James Farley,
Hello.
Sean Bell,
Hiya.
and Matt Murray.
Yeah.
We're ready for another week of video game fun, aren't we, chaps? Okay.
Yeah.
Always are.
It's time to start the show. Sorry, we've all been eating lots of chocolate because although we are adults, we are children at heart, aren't we? Eh?
Do you know
I'll
what
tell
the
you
worst
what.
part is? Last couple of days is I've realised how much better life is if you can just have a little nap around 3 p.m. I don't know if that's an Easter weekend thing or a turning 40 thing.
Nope.
Or
I
neither, just me
I
being
realised that
lazy.
in my mid-20s, I think.
Yeah, love a little nap.
Also, there's nothing better than with a bit of shit telly that you're not really interested in front of you as well. I don't know what it is that sets me off. I like a bit of snooker. Have that on in the
Well, hang
background.
on, let's not
before
slag
you
off.
sleep.
Let's not slag off the
That's nice,
bays.
isn't it? You just like doze off, don't you, while it's on? Hear the clacking of the balls.
God,
you know.
right. So, if this is your first episode,
Love that Christmas carol.
cracking of the balls, write that down, Matt, for an episode
Backing
title.
of the old bulls.
Snooker. Yes.
If this is your first episode of the Computer Game Show, yes, we are all middle-aged white men. I don't know if you've been able to tell that.
If there was any
from the
doubt.
start.
Guilty.
If there was any doubt. Patreon producers this month, James Farley.
Oh, yeah. I was going to do this week, wasn't I? Okay, so
Fuck, I should have deleted them.
these are... I know, it's just the thing.
It's not
These
too
are
late.
our...
Just...
Can you let me do it? And I don't. Fuck off. Come on.
Go on, James.
You got to remember from. That's a challenge we got to do on a podcast. Try and memorize as many of them as possible. Go on.
So these are our Patreon producers for this month. We have Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights are Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Con Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin, the Carwanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, and Steve, the Nuke Littler.
Well
Thank
done,
you for
James. That
doing
was
it.
very good. Thank you for doing it. Well done with that.
sign
That
off.
was very good.
That's right.
I will say though, you sounded on the verge of tears throughout reading that. So, the sheer pressure was
I
coming
was so
down.
tempted to just start writing in like, my name
Fake
is
quotes.
James, I lick my own balls. He was doing really well.
Patreon.com/TCGS. If you like the show, if you like what we do, please support us at patreon.com/TCGS. There are various different tiers there, but of course, the greatest of all the tiers is the Full Nels tier. Thank you so much to our Patreon producers this month for supporting the show. Beyond belief, we would not be here without you. Patreon.com/TCGS. Matt, can I have the feedback from last week's show, please?
Yes, an old friend has messaged. Hello, gents. This week I've had lots of spare time, so I'll be listening back to some of your classic episodes, mainly the E3 ones of the years and the PS5 release special. It's been a fun reminder of yesteryear and listening to the gang stating Astrobot wouldn't amount to anything was a particular highlight. Anyway, congratulations on the years of
Have we
success.
ever been like that? I don't think we've ever.
I thought
What-
we were
what-
always on board with Astro.
What episode was that? I thought we always
The
liked
PS5
Astrobot.
release special, maybe. I mean, I think short. And I'll finish this email in a minute. But yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not saying an old friend is wrong, but I like to think like we thought a demo. It's like, come on, I want more of this because it was so good.
We are. The only thing that I can think of that made us say it wouldn't come to anything is because Sony seemed hell bent on Sackboy.
Yeah,
were
we
constantly
thought they
going,
wouldn't have the
"No."
confidence to actually deliver something.
And then it was always just going to be like a kind of side project demo stuff or something like that. It was never-
Well, I'm glad they broke out of that.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations on the years of success, and it's been a while since I've written in, but thank you for keeping the older episodes alive. Lots of love from an old friend.
Have we ever considered deleting some old episodes? Like slowly sort of kicking them off.
The thing, in order to figure out which ones we'd need to delete, we'd have to go back and listen to them, and I don't think I'm prepared.
We ain't
I
deleting
could
anything.
think there's a certain period just after Charlie was born that we could probably drop without anyone
That's the
caring.
best bit.
Well, the golden age. I don't think
Golden age now,
they
is it,
will
wasn't it?
they will kick off.
Okay.
Golden era. Yeah.
Golden Era, Golden Age, similar.
Matt's changed it. Don't worry,
No,
Matt's
I think
changed
Golden
it.
Age. I would have said Golden Age, not Golden Era.
I mean, I don't know what the technical difference is between an age and an era.
No, it's more of a legacy, isn't it, Sean?
It is.
Personally.
Yeah.
I'll move on. Jack.
Cool, guys. Ooh,
Episode
charisma. Sorry, me staying silent then was a representation of what those episodes were like with me not on it.
No, they're a lot better, a lot more like chill,
That
relaxed.
truncate silence was working overdrive for Sean's editing.
Jack, episode 447 at 2 hours, 11 minutes, 48 seconds. Dave does a dirty little indigestion burp and doesn't skip a beat. Just made me laugh. Also, I have 5 kids and they all want to switch to you for Christmas. Send financial planning tips, please, from Jack Mehoff.
Hold on, I need to go and get my
Sorry, who's
phone. I
that
haven't
from?
got.
Oh, no, it's done it. It's done me. No, it's Jack Mehoff, so it's actually very different. It's not... Oh, Jack, for fuck's sake.
Shit, has anyone got it on their phone? Can they play it down the thing? Because I can't. I'm using new headphones this week and it will screw up.
Oh
if
shit!
start
No, I haven't got
playing
it queued up. Sorry.
Well,
I've not got
I
it queued
sent
up,
you,
but
I
I
sent
will
you a clip
download
of it on the
Have you
WhatsApp
got it,
group.
mate?
Oh, did you? Okay.
It was the weirdest thing because I sort of half remember doing it, and when I listen back, I'm like, whoa, this is
Okay, I've got it
actually
here.
disgusting. So a little burpee, but mid sentence. Here we
Okay.
go.
In that time, I'm getting the older I'm getting, the more nostalgic I'm getting, and one of those things is, yeah, queuing up and getting excited and fucking going into a shop and playing the demo unit and stuff like that.
That's foul, isn't it? That's
Dirty,
awful.
dirty man. Unless a
that's all.
podcaster would have stopped in their tracks, but no, not
No,
you.
yeah,
just-
no, I carried on, but
just went straight for it,
yeah,
right
that's
through it.
disgusting. I do apologise for that, listeners. Hopefully, I
Yeah,
won't
so you
do
should
it.
do. Simon Moorcraft, Sean, this is a quote from Sean apparently. My son talks like he's streaming to an audience when he plays games. I don't know where he's picked that up from. He doesn't really watch YouTube. Also, Sean, watch me stream Monster Hunter on Thursday.
I mean, Simon, do you think I let my son watch any of this?
Oh, your potty mouth.
Or is he saying that, you know, the streamer genes have passed on?
Yeah, it's just knows it. Just evolution,
Yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
Isaac never watches any of our stream stuff for obvious reasons.
What a terrible child. You surely force them. Force them to watch. As an editor, you've got to watch this. We need the numbers pumping up.
I mean, none
So-
of you let your kids watch any of this, right?
No, God, no.
Absolutely not. No.
Sorry, Harry.
No.
Yeah, sorry, yes,
Sorry,
exactly.
yeah. The one thing I was going to let Harry watch was our Fortnite stream, but you were effing and jeffing. Matt dropped about 8 C bombs in it.
Sorry, Harry.
Absolutely disgraceful. I did have an awkward situation at work in the week where someone was sitting down working and they looked over
Wow, that
at
is
me,
weird.
smiled, and lifted up their phone and showed me they were listening to the podcast.
No.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I went, turn it off now. I don't want you anywhere near that. Thank you.
Is it someone who's subordinate to you, or is it?
What does that mean?
Is
I
it
don't know
someone
what-
who-
Do you
someone
manage
who-
them?
Are you their boss?
No, but even so, it still makes me feel.
Well, hello to that person.
I'm not going to tell you who they are, Matt, because I know. But you've lived through this, right? Because you
Yeah.
used to work with people that listen to the show all
Yeah,
the
but
fucking
Matt
time.
works with cool, trendy people. It's not a problem for him.
Well, no, because one person was specifically
Slagging all those people off, Sean.
yeah. No, because one
Architects are
person.
cool.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
But in Matt's work, the type of places Matt works, it's like, yeah, of course he's got a podcast. We've all got one. Why,
Yeah, that's-
why
Yeah,
don't you have a
exactly, yeah.
podcast?
That's a fair
Ten a
point,
penny over there.
actually. Yeah.
Driving around on their segways,
Does anyone
podcasting their
you
ears.
work with
You know.
in your last
Scooters.
place, Matt, have a podcast as well?
Not
Did you
aware
listen
of.
to it and go, oh, God.
Not
And
aware
then
of, and
did
also
it
I didn't
turn out
ask
that it
because
was
as if I'm going to
the,
ask.
Was it the Apocalypse Players? Were they
It
all
was
working?
great people actually, great people over. No, because I used to
Fantastic,
work with someone called John who listened for like years and years. And if we would leave work and go to the pub, he would like drive a few of us because it was a bit of a distance. And we'll get in the car and he'd be like, okay, the first thing that comes on the car stereo, speakers is the podcast. I'm like, John, no, please, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, that's-
Anyway. Oh, but this bit is great, so keep playing this bit. That's
Yeah, over and over.
and then turn it off. Yeah, Dave Hodgkins. Hey guys, in response to the crisp/pub snacks chat, God, we've lost it. The absolute queen was jalapeno Sniders.
Sniders?
Yeah.
Sniders?
they were
Jalapeno
nice,
Sniders, which I don't believe you can get in the UK anymore. Honestly,
Yeah,
the day I
they're
discovered
like-
them,
You can
Yeah.
still get them. You can
Still find them.
Find 'em.
I don't believe I know of them. Who?
Yeah, they're like
who
in
makes-
little green bags. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
right.
often in like like newsagents and stuff.
They were more
Right.
like pretzels, weren't they? They were.
Yeah.
They were like hard pretzels, not soft. They were
Yeah.
like hard pretzels, but they're real sort of they was quite spicy.
Yeah, they were
Hence
spicy. And,
the
it was like,
jalapeno.
and also they were like you'd make a huge mess when you were eating them as well because they're just like covered in stuff. It was
I
like
just looked them up. Snyder's was the make, but they were pretzel pieces, jalapeno
Yeah.
pretzel pieces. Yeah, that's it. Lovely job.
Yeah, which I don't believe in UK anymore. Honestly, the day I discovered them was a landmark moment of my life. Also, do you remember the old, early noughts sweet smell of success Scampy Fries TV advert? YouTube it if not, love you bye. I mean, I love Scampy Fries. I didn't know it got to TV advert status.
No, I've never seen this.
That's incredible. Sweet smell of success. I mean, I was a fan, but I don't think anyone else would really describe them as like having a great smell. And often like, can you not order them today, Matt? But they're bloody nice.
Well,
They're bloody nice.
I'm with you there, Matt. With you there.
Doom Eternal has messaged, hello, your old pal Doom Eternal here. Did I hear that Sean is booked in for the snip on May 15th? The very same day my baby brother is due. If I hear you talking shit about Lil Doom the Dark Ages like you did me, I'll rip and tear Sean's nuts clean off to ensure he definitely won't be procreating any more humans. Watch yourself.
But that's what I want, though. I don't want to create any more humans.
You don't want to rip and torn, though.
I don't want my entire sack, taken off.
Don't you? Lighter, though. More aerodynamic.
I suppose it makes sure, because obviously with a normal vasectomy, there's the whole we got to wait 3 months and then see if you've got any swimmers still and stuff. Whereas actually, if the whole thing's gone,
yeah, no
job
problem.
done. Do you know what I
Is
mean?
it really 3 months? It went 3 months.
Is it something? I
already.
can't remember something like that.
Uh-oh.
You want to
David's
check all
busy
this
within
out.
24 hours.
You want to check all this out, Sean, and be sure of it. Yeah.
They've sent me all the literature.
Yeah, we need to have a proper chat about that, a private one that is not appropriate for the show because there's some very strange
maybe it is.
and different
Yeah,
ways.
Tell
Patreon
me
bonus
on
show,
the agenda,
baby!
It's
Live stream, baby!
Great.
Talk over,
Vasectomy
baby!
calls. Okay.
Walkers has messaged, unironically, ready salted is the best flavour.
It's
I mean, I think it's up there. I think
it's
up there.
not the best.
It depends
flavour,
if
though,
you're
is
having
it?
it with a drink, right?
What?
Ooh.
Because if you're having, because I only drink sweet stuff. Ready salted with like a sugary drink is amazing. Any other flavors, not so much. But if you're just having the crisps on their own, I'd rather go prawn cocktail or.
It's they're nice with a sandwich as well.
Yeah, I think that's just. I think it's probably up there because it works in so many different scenarios. Whereas,
It's
very solid. You
adaptable.
put salt vinegar not in certain situations, or such cheese onion, but very solid. It's just up there forever, isn't it?
One thing I've noticed about you, Sean, and I don't want you to see this as a character assassination, and I don't want me to see. Please don't take this too personally.
That's for the
You're an
audience to
absolute
decide.
twat.
No, but something that I've worked out about you is, thought it for a while. You've got quite the sweet tooth, haven't you?
Oh yeah, is that only? Yeah.
News alert.
Like, there's a reason that like I am very overweight at this point. On camera,
You and me
you
both.
can't really see it because it's all belly. I mean, you guys will see it at the weekend. Like, it's like I look like I've got like a proper drinking problem. I look like a proper old man, like who's well into his IPAs. And
It's
shit.
just bags of sugar.
It's just but it's just the sugar. Like, it's really bad. But yeah.
Have you ever
really
got
bad sweet
to?
tooth.
I mean,
Do you know
I
what?
saw.
Do you know what really ticked me off of that was last week when you went, "Why would anyone choose salt and vinegar?" Like, no, not everything has to taste like a Haribo. It's fine.
Imagine if it did. Yeah, no, it's a genuine problem that I need to address.
I saw this
How do you
video.
even address that though? How do you
mean?
address it? Well, because
Well,
you
it's
really
tough,
like the
yeah,
taste
because-
of that stuff.
Because that there's
you
like the
do?
stuff saying like, oh, like sugar addiction should be considered like as bad as like alcohol or drug addiction. You're like, oh, come on, it's not though, is it?
It's
also
not
part of me
because
is
you're
like-
addicted to it, Sean. That's
But
like-
yeah, this thing. It's like part of me is like, it would be helpful if society, for me, if everyone thought it was the same, and I could be like, no, I'm off the sugar, and people are like, oh shit, I better not offer him a cake. Do you know what I mean? That would actually help a lot.
What I like the sugar-free drinks. Like, do you just not like them, or you not
They're
fussed?
not as nice. Like basically cherry Pepsi Max is like what I usually have in the house. But yeah, so then like an actual sugary drink is like a special treat. Get to have real sugar. It's pretty low, but there you go.
Yeah, I saw.
I cry about it most nights. Most
I saw a
evenings.
video the other day
But then
of
that's-
someone putting actual sugar into their Pepsi. I mean,
Really
I
saw
wasn't
someone
sure if
adding
there's
it
like a piss
themselves.
take or what,
Oh my
but
God. Well, this is the thing, because loads of the fucking the fancy shit, like so Fentimans, for example, they've taken half the sugar out now.
I wondered
like-
why you'd stop drinking Fentimans.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
that
know
mentioned
about
for
it.
It's
weeks.
nowhere near as nice anymore.
so you do put your own sugar into these drinks. Get a
No,
Fentimans,
God, no.
2 tablespoons of sugar. There you go.
I'll put
Well,
it back
Sean's
in.
coming over to visit this weekend. Hopefully, if all pans out. Just, do you want a Coke, Sean? Yeah, one lump or two. Just like swear
I had
it
this.
in.
You know, I always put loads of sugar in my coffee as well.
How much is loads?
It's not important.
No, go on.
no,
because
come on.
okay, no, before you answer, because my sister is a psychopath, and she
Yeah.
puts 5 sugars into a like coffee or tea, and I was like,
We would get on very well.
but that's not the base level for you. Yeah,
But
5.
no, that's standard. But like I was
5,
I was
Sean?
explaining to Nick because
That
he
is
was
not
like, but what's
standard.
why would you put that much sugar in it? It's like, right, I don't like coffee. I don't want it to taste of coffee anymore.
Hang on, Sean. Not only do you not like coffee and you put 5 sugars in, we've seen you drink coffee on stream. You down it like a shot.
Yeah.
Just don't
is
drink
horrible.
coffee, I would say.
Is
We
that when
shouldn't
you're
be going
downing
into
that?
this
Is that
at all.
actually just sugar, Sean?
More or
Like,
less. No,
yeah.
no. There's like I'll put like a shot of coffee and then a bit of milk.
You know, sometimes when you're drinking, I don't, maybe if you have put like maybe a sugar on, maybe like cornflakes or whatever, sometimes at the bottom of the bowl, there's some sugar. When Sean has his coffee, there's coffee left at the bottom, he drinks the sugar. So I'm going to say to the bottom. So that's
Very
coffee granules.
long-winded way to get to that joke.
Trying to.
When you have steak, do you have
How many
anything on your
sugars?
steak? Or do you have it plain?
Just
Wait,
waters.
Do I have what? Sorry, do I have what on it?
When you have a steak, do you have anything on it? Or just have
Garlic
it plain?
butter usually.
Oh, okay, that's all right. I thought you were going to say tomato ketchup. Joe has tomato ketchup on her steak, and it
Maple
fucking
syrup.
pisses me off.
You know a sloppy steak?
Yeah, just water. The sloppy of the battle. All right.
Wow, what's the episode title? Okay, that was it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS.
just in
Leave your
case.
feedback.
Just in case anyone wants to write in, I know everything I've just said is awful.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's. Yeah, you're not sitting there defending your
No,
actions.
not at all.
are you?
Sounds like you're defending it, Sean.
I'll tell you what
Good
is
feedback.
shit. This I've got this Pepsi cream soda flavour.
Oh.
Fucking dog shit.
I saw like that, and like, is there like a strawberries and cream version in
There is
Tesco?
yeah.
I mean, I don't drink enough of that stuff anyway, but I was
Cream
like,
soda is one of those things you cannot replicate it without proper sugar. But
and ice cream.
hey ho.
I love the fact that you're our sugar expert.
Oh, I am. It's because you need to caramelize it to make proper cream soda. It's really difficult. I tried making it myself. Awful.
Yeah,
All I
well, we
remember is
all
when
know
I
that
was
you tried to
young-
make a fizzy pop before, and
I used to do it loads. I used to really
Yeah.
enjoy it. But then
You
again,
said
and then
to
again I was
listeners.
like, that was the wake up call because I started making it for other people, and they were like, "This is jam. What the fuck are you doing?"
I need to find my midnight resistance drink.
Oh yeah, you still got
I've definitely still got it. I wonder if I took it from the family home. I mean, that's probably the first thing I packed. I'm leaving. Also, where's my drink? But I'm not ever going to drink. Yeah,
okay,
good times.
right. Should we get onto the news, James Farley?
Can we just stop for 1 second because there's a smoke alarm going off in the background, and I just need to deal with it. I'll be 1
That's
second.
fine.
Go and deal with that.
We our neighbours' smoke alarms going off the other day, and they weren't in.
Oh,
So we had the dilemma of like probably nothing.
that's great, Sean. That's like what everyone dreams of. Because that means you can go in and smash a window, and you can do it under pretense of, oh, I thought something was on fire in there.
Well, as it happened, so
they
we
can't
managed to
kick
get-
off then.
managed to get in touch with them because I got the guy's phone number from when we had a shared chimney at the back that needed work doing on it last year. So I still have the guy's number from then. So I managed to get hold of him, and basically it turned out they just have a key in like a little lockbox outside the house.
Okay.
So I managed to get in, and it was literally a fire alarm that was just sat on like a unit in the living room. Wasn't even like installed or
Oh.
anything. It was just sitting there beeping its very little heart off.
Was that a low battery?
For no reason. Yeah, I don't even know if the battery was low or anything. It wouldn't.
I thought you were going to
reset.
say it literally just was a blaze, and
Fire,
I walked away.
So yeah, we just left it.
Literally, it was
Closed
a
the
massive
door,
fire.
closed the door and went.
It's like
"Yikes."
backdraft. Yeah. Oh god, bad. Oh yeah, it's real bad. It's real bad there, mate. You should probably go back from holiday. Your house is fucked. Your house is absolutely fucked.
The
James,
thing
yeah,
is,
sorry,
our
right.
attic isn't properly fire stopped, so it would eventually have got to us. So.
No, it was it was a situation where like when the battery's running out
Oh, yeah.
and it just keeps beeping all the time. So
It's that small. It's that small beep. Isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And a 1.
Right. Should we get to the news? There's been a biggie. Start again. Right, should we get to the news? Has it been a big week for news, James? Are you buzzing with anticipation to tell us all the stuff that's
Is he
crawled
ever?
out of the sewers of
I mean,
the
it's-
video game world?
It's been a week of news. Some things have happened. I mean, I wouldn't say it's been particularly exciting. I mean, we had like the Switch 2 stuff, and it was all like loads of things going on with that.
What do you mean, come on? I'm not arguing with you. Why are you doing that?
Well, I'm tempering
He's just
expectations.
anticipating us having a go at him.
I mean, come on. Come on. He's arguing with himself at this point. We don't even need to do anything. It doesn't do anything. Go on.
Please don't say that.
I love the fact that all of you've gone.
Oh God, he hasn't mute. He's left himself off mute. This will be the one where he dies.
Completely.
The one time it doesn't mute is
No, he's gonna.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mute it.
Oh, the French champagne.
That's
Keep
why I
going.
mute it. That's why I mute it. Okay.
God.
an
Anyway,
example of that.
oh, okay, here we go. So, first bit of news is that Nintendo have now confirmed that the US pre-order date is happening, and that also it's going to be $450 still. They're not increasing the price. But, I mean, there's the usual Nintendo caveat stuff where they are increasing the accessory prices. I mean, this is the quote. They said, Nintendo Switch 2 accessories will experience price adjustments from those announced on April 2nd due to changes in market conditions. Other adjustments to the price of any Nintendo product are also possible in the future, depending on market conditions.
So this
So-
is US only, right?
Yeah.
The prices are changing, right?
Yeah,
They're
this
not
is-
changing in the UK.
No, it's
So,
just for us.
ours
your-
aren't changing.
There's a chance ours will change, I think. Well, as they maybe
Well,
try and
but
like.
every
Yeah, 'cause
other
we saw it-
fucking thing's
saw it-
changing.
Yeah, because we saw it last week with the PlayStation stuff, didn't we? Like, clearly manufacturers are
certainly
open
did.
to the idea of adjusting in other territories to offset the effect in America, which is
Have
great.
we ever had it?
I'm fine with it. So,
Okay, so the console didn't change, but have we ever had it where a bunch of stuff has been announced for launch and then prices have gone up between the announcement and launch?
I don't
'Cause
think so.
No, it's
unique,
pretty unprecedented times, aren't we, with all the tariff stuff? And just the timing, I guess. Yeah, if the Switch 2 announcement was a fortnight or a month later, this wouldn't be an issue as much. But it just happened the timing just right bang in the middle of their announcements.
Yeah,
Alright.
so that's that.
So this
but then-
week, so you can pre-order from this week in America. I'm surprised the console hasn't gone up, but
Really?
maybe
Well,
everyone's
if the
kicking off so
accessories are
badly.
going up, I'm surprised that the console hasn't gone up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess everyone's kicking off about, well, you watch any of the Nintendo Directs and the whole chat is like lower the price. So maybe they felt like they couldn't do that and they're just trying to make their money where possible on the accessories and maybe games. But maybe they thought that we really cannot increase this console anymore without people properly kicking off.
No, they'll probably wait a bit and then probably increase it later.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what's
All
going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, where are we with the pre-orders now? Are we all sorted?
I think we'll cover
Yeah.
now, aren't we?
Happy
Well,
and
settled,
confident. Matt, have you
Not,
still got
I mean,
like
I'm
nine
not
pre-orders?
confident. I mean, I've still got my ones from Smiths and from Amazon. I'm not confident, but I think it's something's going to change up to a week. I mean, I'll probably be told, actually, no, second batch or third batch, but I've got two.
It is strange, isn't it? I don't think that's going to be the case this time, though, Matt, because they've already had
reckon?
restocks of pre-orders. You know what I mean? Like, it seems
Yeah.
like they wouldn't be doing that if they weren't
Well, no,
confident
I mean,
that they
when
could
you say-
fulfill their current pre-orders.
But when you say restocks, like most of the places open pre-orders without even knowing their allocation, so they probably opened with a small allocation because
Right,
they're
okay, but
worried, and then
yeah, exactly. And then I think they've been confirmed numbers, so now they're going right. Okay, we can up
Yeah.
our pre-orders, and that's why we've seen so many retailers reopen their pre-order. I mean, I've already had a text from Argos saying you are getting it launch day. So
That's good.
I think, yeah, and that could be an automated thing, so that could be wrong, really. But there's only so much you can worry about, Matt.
Yeah.
It's only so much, mate.
Well, I worry about a lot of things actually. So
Have they
actually,
changed
there's no
it?
limit
Yes,
to what I can
I've
worry
no
about.
idea how many things I can worry about. Fuck you.
So many things.
That was really weird about the Amazon one, wasn't it? Because when you pre-ordered an Amazon, for some reason, it put the Saturday. What was it, the 7th instead
Yeah,
of the
it's
5th?
7 for everyone though, so I don't get
Yeah,
that.
so
I mean,
what have they not changed that then?
still 7th as far as I'm aware. I don't quite get that.
Oh
really.
no, I cancelled all my Amazon ones. They're all
Did ya?
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
my
I'm
Pro
still
Controller
worried.
Still says 7th of June. And is it all still French? Yep, still French. It's so weird. All right.
James, that's you.
What?
Next news story. Is
News
that
No, I,
right?
thought, I didn't know you were. I didn't know you want me to move on. I thought you were still continuing the
No,
conversation.
I think
sound
silence.
like it was continuing?
Silence generally means it's time to move on, baby.
I know, but usually David says something like, "Okay, next," and then
No, I said,
it
all
happens.
right.
I know, but that's no, you didn't. You didn't end on that. You ended. You said something about French, and then that was it. Oh, I don't know. Like, let's just.
Let's move on because this clip is giving
You
a
said
disaster.
something
When
about French. Can you write that down as an episode title? Fucking hell, man. Are you all right today, James?
No, I just couldn't breathe for a minute ago. It's it's fine.
Breathe for a minute
For
ago.
a
Dave.
minute ago, Judgment,
To
breathe
repeat himself.
How
for
many Easter
8
eggs are you eating
minutes.
One. I've had one, but I did make we had curry this evening, which was not a great idea. So I'm feeling a bit, uncomfortable.
Curry do you have?
Well, just what did we have? We had it was like tamarinds and korma because Rachel likes it, and some stuff like that. Some nice pashari naan. It's good.
Lovely.
So you glad you asked there, Sean? Did you get the content you wanted out of that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Listeners are
Let's
raging.
Rachel,
move-
Korma pal.
Yeah.
I think it might be time to move on to the next news
Okay,
story,
so-
James Farley.
Last week there was also a Mario Kart World Direct where they showed a
Yes.
bunch of new stuff.
Yes,
Did anyone see this?
I did. I've seen it a couple of times now.
It was on in the background because I don't want to spoil the game for myself because I am that sad. I'm that
Yeah, I
sad.
mean, they didn't unveil too much. I think you can.
No,
I was
they
worried
had-
about watching it at all, but
They had they just showed what some of the new items that you can get in the game. They also had like the outfits thing, where you get food that you pick it up and then it modifies your racer so it looks
do
looks
what?
different.
You pick up food,
you can
Yeah,
pick up
you
food
can,
in
you
the
can drive
environment.
through like a Yoshi's drive-through,
right?
and across the world there's apparently loads of them, I guess.
Yeah.
And then each time you randomly get like a takeaway order, which then your character then eats, and then it becomes like an embodiment of that food or whatever.
Oh, is it really bad stereotyping? Like if you're,
I don't think
okay.
so.
Yeah,
Is it? Are you going to be able to pick
Also,
up
a
a haggis?
Mexican sombrero and that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah. It's very much that. Yeah.
Okay.
But crucially,
dear.
yeah, it sounds like you guys were right about there being a lot of stuff dotted around the open world,
Yeah,
like
that's what
little
we want.
collectibles and challenges
Yeah.
and stuff, and I'm very up for it.
That's
Yeah,
what
because
we
they have
want.
P blocks and stuff like that where you can hit them and then it will do mini games and stuff like that and stuff you've got to collect and all that. And they also showed some of the new tricks as well, like the charge jump and all that kind of stuff, which looked pretty good. But I thought this looked great. It looks
The
really
one thing
good.
that I do know is that the kids come up to me after watching it and saying, there is battle mode, but no Renegade Roundup. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That was the only good one. That was the only good one. We never did the balloons one where you had to kill each other with the balloons. We never did that.
I don't
Is
even
it-
know
is
what
it
those
balloons,
ones are.
Don't we?
Is,
Huh?
is the balloon stuff still in it? I thought it was. I sort of drifted off at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
still-
don't know.
Yeah, it
still
looks
got
like it
that.
is.
Still balloons, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boys
Oh,
just
never
said,
mind.
oh, it's not got Renegade Roundup in it. And I was like, but that's legitimately the only one we play. And I'm aware we're the only ones that played it. But we love a bit of Renegade Roundup. Oh, shit.
We don't know yet, do we? For certain, all the stuff. It was just a
Why
couple
would
of.
they leave out game modes?
Well, no, it wasn't.
they're
They just
talking about
showed battle, bits from battle mode. So it doesn't
okay.
mean it got all of them, but we'll see.
We'll see. I am looking forward to the game. I am slightly concerned that it's not going to fill my belly when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. So I'm thinking, what else am I going to play with this fucking thing until Donkey Kong comes out? But yeah, no, the boys are super excited. We are going to smash the shit out of it. And as I said, it's a big thing that can't go unnoticed, right? And I know it's like, oh, we should expect this anyway. But the fact that the old Pro controller works on it and the old Joy-Cons work on it means that we've got enough controllers out of the box to play 4-player. And not everyone's going to have that, but we've got that out of the box to play 4-player Mario Kart on day one, and that's cool, man. I like that. I'm looking forward to that game.
See, I'm really hoping that like the open world stuff and the exploration bits will probably not pad this out, but it's going to be, there'll be more to it, if you know what I mean, than just like racing and stuff.
I think there will be.
I don't
Seems
think
like
there'll be much to it. I think it'll give you a little bit more than just. I mean, when I play single player Mario Kart, it's mainly can I get the gold trophy or the 3 stars on every single Grand Prix, and that does get a bit tiresome, especially when you're getting screwed in the 150cc stuff. So hopefully it does give something else, but I don't think it's going to be massive. We all know what Mario Kart's for. It's for that multiplayer experience, isn't it? That's where we.
Yeah, but when I watched that video, I did think. I mean, this is a term that everyone uses, but are they kind of Breath of the Wilding it? Like, just when I just saw that peopling, I'm like, with all the you collecting things. When I saw that, I was like, is that just literally hit a P block and you collect coins in like a quick manner, like we're doing in Mario? Like, oh, quick some red coins, and that's a mission, or are they much larger things? But it feels like there is more to this than
Matt. I love your optimism. They are not doing a Breath of the Wild to this game. This is
well, no,
not...
but just like the next evolution of Mario Kart, it feels like it's that for sure. It's an open world-ish Mario Kart. I mean, there's lots of potential.
I don't think
looks great.
That at all. I don't think that'll be that at all.
It is open.
It's going to be amazing, but I don't. I can't see them taking that much of a big leap because it is such a well-loved series and people love that game. The one thing that did interest me, did they say whether you can do a Grand Prix without the drive into the next course stuff, or is that all you've always got to drive to the next course?
I don't know.
I seem to remember, not in this particularly, but in the first kind of announcements that they said you can just do it through menus. I seem to remember that, but who knows?
I'd be interested to see how they will work all that stuff out. Cool.
That's one thing reminded me. We were saying the other week about. I was saying I was a bit disappointed that it looked like it was do a race, then it stops, and then everyone starts the next bit to the next track, then it stops, then it starts the next, etc., etc. And we were saying, well, how else would they do it? Because you need to know who the winner is before you proceed. That's what the knockout mode is for, I believe. So I think that just keeps running, and it's just like whoever's the last across the next finish line gets knocked out. And everyone else just carries on. Yeah,
because that's like 4 or 5 circuits, isn't it? Stitched into one.
Yeah.
And that looks so good, that mode. It looks so good.
Yeah, and I'm assuming the usual Mario Kart item stuff will sort of rubber band it to an extent and sort of keep everyone together, but who knows?
And I mean, this wasn't mentioned here, but as mentioned when it first got announced, is that now you don't have to hold down, L or ZL to hold your item behind you. They just automatically go behind you.
Yeah.
Which is like, something that everyone's been used to do for years, but hey, it's handy, isn't it?
I really want to know what the grinding on the rails thing offers, though. It'd be interesting to work all that.
It looks like it's
out.
a boost. It shows a boost spark.
But so's drifting. So, like, why would I grind instead of drift?
Because they're showing you get you get to different areas, like grind. Like I go on that video, they were showing them grind, and then that allowed you to get to a different area of the track for a shortcut. So maybe if you want to get shortcuts or this and that, it's the grind to get there rather than just.
No, we'll have to.
Those are great though.
Yeah. Okay. That is what is the thing is it's further away than you fucking think, isn't it? Like it feels like it's coming out next month and not in 2 months. Well, a month and a half's time.
Are your kids harassing you about it? Because Isaac's impatient.
No, they're all right. They know it's on its way, but
fair enough.
They're
pretty much every
been
week.
bugging me for it.
Isaac's asking me like, "Is this week the Switch 2 comes out?" I'm like, no.
Just put it on his calendar. Get a calendar. Say there you go. It's 6 weeks away, mate. Yeah, I mean, Elodie wasn't really mega bothered, but we did play more Mario Kart this week, and she does say she's looking forward to new Mario, but we never hammered it as much as you guys did with your kids. But yeah, I'm well pumped.
Cool.
Okay. So next story is related to Mario on the Switch 2, because Doug Bowser was asked about this, and he said, obviously, stay tuned. We have a long catalogue and a long list of intellectual property that I'm sure will make its way to the platform, which is a non-answer. It's basically just saying like, yeah, there's going to be a Mario game on here.
Yeah, it doesn't need to answer.
No shit.
And but they also asked him about who was making Donkey Kong, because this is the thing that everyone's kind of interested in, because is it the Odyssey team or is it somebody else? And so they said, it's a very good question. You'll have to stay tuned. We always like to start by showcasing the game and getting people focused on the gameplay, but we'll have some developer information to share about the game in due time.
After it comes out.
After it comes out. It's
try
check the credits.
Yeah, they always do this, didn't they? They always
Nintendo are very weird about credits in general, aren't they? It's really
but I don't want you to
strange.
prejudge it, I guess. But I mean, it is. I could be wrong and shoot myself in the foot here, but when I looked at this trailer and the stuff I've seen of this game, it looks like like a very good studio rather than. You know, when you see some games out at Nintendo and you go, I'm not sure about that one. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a feeling this is a good team on this one, but
It did feel very odd to see from the trailer, but
what I'm really interested in is why do they think it's worth $10 less than the Mario Kart? Like, what?
because they probably feel like they can't get away with it, whereas they know they can get away with it in Mario Kart.
I mean, if they're thinking about it in terms of like longevity or whatever, like you're going to be playing Mario Kart for a lot longer than you're going to be playing Donkey Kong. Like if that's what they're basing it on.
Yeah, but you don't know. You don't. No, I don't think they've got a history of pricing based on longevity, and I think it's more to do with Matt's thing. Like Mario Kart is a known brand, so they think that they can up the price a bit, whereas as Donkey Kong is less of a thing. Although it is interesting, isn't it? Because we saw Donkey Kong in the first Switch 2 reveal, right, a few months back, and it was like a bit of a meme. Everyone was going, "Look at the fucking state of Donkey Kong in this." Well, that's to match the Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Bonanza, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, do you prefer how Donkey Kong looks now? Because I don't prefer the new design, I must say.
I mean, no feelings about it.
Sounds like no one gives a shit.
I don't really care. To be honest, that much.
All right. Just never been that attached to him as a character, so I don't really mind. But then I was a ugly Sonic apologist, so
were you really?
Well, not
Sean loved the teeth, didn't he? It was like
I just thought he looked weird and quite funny. I didn't find it like off-putting like everyone else seemed to.
Oh my god, I found it grotesque.
Yeah, it was grotesque, but I thought it was funny how grotesque it was.
Not for me. Thank you.
Okay. Next story is that so Phil Spencer's been having a chat again about stuff. He's been chatting with Variety, and he's now said that Game Pass is not for everybody. So this is
this sounds like when I said this podcast wasn't for everybody. When it becomes very evident we weren't going to be the biggest podcast in the world. I just it's not for everyone, is it? You know, don't worry about it.
I think it means more to the people who do like it. Actually, that's fine. So.
Yeah, we know our audience, and that's that.
Yeah.
So here's the whole quote. He says, "It's not for everybody. If you play 1 or 2 games a year, Game Pass probably isn't the right business model for you. You should just buy those 2 games, and that would make total sense. But I want you to have the choice." He's really generous. He's like, giving the choice. So we remain focused on everything that's on Game Pass is also available to buy. I've always thought about Game Pass as just another option for somebody who wants to play.
No.
We have...
No, you haven't.
Of course I haven't.
You haven't.
We have many business models for people playing from free to play, buying games, discounted games. Game Pass is an option. So when I'm looking at Game Pass, I want to make sure the hours that people are playing continue to go up, that new people see this as a way for them to find and build their library of games, and we remain focused on that. But yeah, he didn't give any information on the membership data though. They asked him and he was like, no, it's growing. He just said it's growing, and that was it.
Everything just sounds so shady out of Phil Spencer's mouth now, doesn't it? It really does.
Yeah.
I've lost faith in the man, and that's sad, really, actually, because he does seem. And I mean, there's that whole he's just playing a character or whatever, but he does seem quite legitimate.
I genuinely
you see him
think
change what he's said for the past so many years and try and act. Like, no, we've always thought this. It's like, well, I think
he probably is legitimate. It's just obviously we have seen now that, like, unfortunately, he still answers to, the same authorities within Microsoft.
Oh, is that the way you see it? You see it as in, like, he's still a good guy, but he's being controlled.
No.
Well, I mean, I think that's definitely the case. I mean, since basically Microsoft, since Xbox made that, $69 billion acquisition of Activision, it feels like Xbox is not just one part of Microsoft. It's like a huge huge
Yeah,
part.
sure,
I
but
yeah,
think
he's still,
maybe
he's still
Way more
in charge
scrutiny
of
and-
Xbox.
It doesn't feel like he's in charge of Xbox anymore, though.
No.
It feels more like. I mean, I think he like all the stuff. When the Series S and Series X came out, I think he genuinely believed all the things he was saying about that. About how Game Pass of the future. It was all this is what they were subscription models were, where we were going, and all that kind of stuff. And then as Matt said, they got taken over, and I think there are now people higher up in Microsoft that are like, this is not the approach anymore, and he's having to. I feel bad for him in a sense because he's having to sort of like.
I don't feel that bad for him because
Well, he could resign if he wanted
He
to.
could
Also,
resign
he's a very
and,
rich industry executive. I think he's doing
all
all
right for himself.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
So the quote, if you play 1 or 2 games a year, Game Pass probably isn't the right business model for you.
I mean, that's true.
But it would be really good for Microsoft if you were someone who only bought 1 or 2 games a year and decided to just subscribe to the Game Pass and then forget about it. Like that would be delightful for them. I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean, obviously trying to get people to buy more games again. If games are 60, 70 quid, then but buy a couple of them and Bob's your uncle. But
And that
I mean,
really
I think it makes
seems
sense.
to be-
If I only pay 2 games a year, I wouldn't get Game Pass. Why would you pay 15 quid a month? I mean, again, this is the whole subscriber thing. They want to be subscribed and forget about it. But I think that's true. It's probably not for you.
But no, they really seem to be pushing really heavily now. This idea of like buying games again seems to be the main focus.
It's almost like they got to make some money back.
Yeah,
A big old acquisition.
getting quite fed up with because I thought I would be smart and since all the good offers went away, I now basically I renew Game Pass sort of every 3 months, right? And fucking hell, they like to make sure that your sub's due to run out. Like for about 2 weeks, I think it is beforehand. It's like, by the way, like every time you load up a Game Pass game, it's like your sub's gonna run out in 10 days.
God, that's well annoying.
And it's like, oh, fuck you. Like, yes, I know. And I don't want to think about it right now.
when mine runs out, I'm not sure if I'm going to resubscribe. At least not
Really?
not every month because I don't use it hardly at all. It's
No, that's right. You see, because I still use my Xbox all the time,
Yeah,
and I play online on it all the time, and you
See, I
need
don't do that.
shit.
so it's like if you're not
Obviously,
playing
you don't need
online, what's the
Xbox
point?
Ultimate, but
It's
it's
Plus, and obviously we talked about the boycott last week, and whether or not you're consciously being like, I'm joining the boycott. It's like, well, it's a factor if you're thinking about renewing and actually running out of reasons to renew anyway. It's like, and also there's maybe a moral reason to not keep giving them money as well. It's all adds up.
yeah. Okay.
But there's other news because they're also letting you now stream your own games to console. That's the thing for Game Pass Ultimate. So that's
I'm
happening.
confused about this because
Yeah,
this
me
was
too.
definitely already an option, wasn't it? And they kind of announced it, but then
Was
it was
it?
really.
Well, I think
muted.
they said that was. I think
No.
this is new. I think they've probably said it was coming or it's part
No,
of
it's
the plan.
definitely been a
but-
thing before because I've done it.
They announced it, and I think
Right.
didn't they have a beta of this?
Was it
Like,
a bit
and then-
right? Was it a beta, and now it's?
And now they've said, and you see the headline. This is from Eurogamer, and the headline is like Xbox's stream your own games to console feature now available to all via Game Pass Ultimate. But then
Right.
if you read through, you see, for me when I read that headline, I thought, great, I
It
can
means
play all my
games.
I can play all my games that I own, like on through streaming.
Yeah.
You find out quite quickly that's not the case, because there are 100. It says here 100 plus games that are compatible with the feature, and so I mean I went into my Xbox like cloud gaming thing to see how many games I could play that I own through the service, and I got one, which was the Division 2, and that's all I could
But
play.
but that feature, I don't know how accurate that is because that's been different for all of us after we've checked it. And some of the games
Yeah.
that I own is available to stream, and some, but just Sean owns the same games, but it's not available to stream.
Well, yeah, because what's really surprised me is so when they first, whether it was beta or insiders or whatever, I could definitely play Cyberpunk because I own that on the Xbox, and that is now not on my list.
Right, but
I
it
don't
is
know,
on my
I don't know
list.
what's happened there.
Is that
Yeah.
something to do with game sharing though, or anything? Like who owns?
No, it's
who
definitely
actually
me
bought
that
it?
owns it. But yeah, certainly yes. If you'd previously been playing a game that your game share friend owns, then
Mhm.
yes, that wouldn't work, I suppose.
Well, you can't
Um,
you can't use the cloud service if you're game sharing Game Pass Ultimate anyway.
Oh, that's true.
So
'cause if
You
unless you've got
can,
your own
but only
authorization.
No,
only
you
one
can't.
person can, like from the whole thing.
No, so
'cause this
if
is
you
separate
when we were
from the
game
console.
sharing,
Yeah.
if you had Game Pass Ultimate,
Mm-hmm.
I could. It worked for me but I couldn't use the cloud streaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was just locked away from me. Because I think you have to do it through your one profile
Yes.
to do that,
Yeah.
and your profile's linked to Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, because the whole way game share works is because the console has got the other person's
Your
account as
profile
the
on
prime.
it.
Yeah. Whereas if you're just playing on your phone in a browser or whatever, it's got no knowledge of that other account. They're not actually linked in any way.
I'll tell you what, and fans of Xbox that are listening to this now are going to fucking hate us, but I'll tell you what, the pause destroyed that for me, that feature anyway. I mean, it's when you turn the portal on, it's so seamless and quick and works brilliantly that when you try and do it on the Xbox remote app on my phone, it's just like it does that thing where it's like I launch it up, I connect it to my Xbox, and it says you've got to connect your controller to your phone, and I'm like, but I'm in the same room as my console, and it's like, well, here's a display of all the buttons on your phone then, and you're like, well, you can turn that off. But at the same time, it's an extra level of, for fuck's sake. And also, I haven't got a clip on my thing to put my phone on, so that's annoying. So,
See, so
whereas,
I'm like, I've got there with the xCloud stuff now because I managed to get that GameSir controller on the cheap, which is actually really nice. Like, it's just,
what's this? What is it?
It's a USB-C one. In fact, I can. Fuck, where is it? It's not here. Shit.
Is it like the backbone, like that kind of thing?
Yes, basically, yeah. So it just clips over the phone, and where is it? I thought it was.
Is this? Did you get it from like Temu or something? Was it? A
No. This is GameStar make really good controllers.
Right.
It's got Hall effect sticks and all that shite, and it just connects via USB-C. So that's really nice. And then also there is a third-party app called Better xCloud.
Oh really?
We can get an Android, and it lets you set like the higher. There's like a higher quality bit rate you can use.
Okay.
So it looks a bit better. I think it's probably still not as good as the Portal because you can definitely still see some of the compression artifacts and stuff.
Right.
But then I'm a dickhead for that stuff, so your mileage.
The Portal is so good. It's
Yeah.
like because it all feels so solid and like you don't feel like honestly like I've been playing like while I've been like away from home like stuff off the catalog just through streaming, and a lot of it really doesn't feel. I mean, I'm playing like low latency stuff, but it doesn't feel like you're playing it like on like remotely at all. It's the best I've ever experienced for a remote play, like or anything I think.
Yeah, well, it fucking better be because it's all that it really does. I've done the cloud streaming
exactly,
stuff as well, but
Yeah.
it does make you then go back and use the cloud streaming stuff on Xbox and go, this isn't as good of an experience, and I wish there was a way of doing this quite cheaply on the Xbox.
I'm probably
because I would use
benefiting
that.
from not having used a Portal, right, and not seeing how easier it could be. So, so I'm like, what? What do you mean? What's wrong with xCloud? It's fine. Whereas actually, it's probably just. 'Cause I
Oh
haven't
shit,
seen...
you're totally seeing it when you come down.
Yeah.
You've got to show you all that shit.
Well, I'll
It's
bring my
good.
GameSir controller and you can see how good that is.
No, you're right.
It's funny because I was thinking about putting this in the in a fantasy zone or whatever, but it's not really. There's no solid any like completely nothing solid at all about. Have you heard about these rumors about a new another Portal, which is that will run PS5 games?
What do you mean?
So there's rumors that Sony are working on another version of the Portal, basically.
And that's been around for a while, right? That rumor. Yeah.
And then there's always been speculation as to what it will actually play. You know, whether it will be like
It's not
PS4
gonna play
games or
PS5
something like
games.
that. But they're saying it will play PS5 games, but at like a reduced resolution or whatever is what the argument is. And I saw this thing today where they were just saying like, and also developers won't even have to do anything. Like it will run stuff. You can optimize it or not bother and it will still run, but maybe won't run as well or whatever. But this is why I didn't put this in the news because
utter
it's
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe this at all. But there are rumors. Well, there are rumors for both, right? There are rumors for a standalone portable gaming device from PlayStation, and there's rumors for a streaming device, handheld device from Xbox. So I don't know. I think we'll find out a lot in the summer.
I mean, the only way that Sony are ever going to get back into the portable stuff again is if they're doing something where they don't have to make like custom new, like completely new games for that platform. Like it's got to be something which plays stuff that already exists.
Yeah,
because otherwise it's just not going to happen. Anyway, the last story is that the long-running saga of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake or whatever has finally happened, and apparently it's going to be revealed tomorrow, which is Tuesday, which means it's already happened, so you've already probably seen what this is. So this is the like a remaster of Oblivion, which was that came out on 360 and PS3. I think was yeah. And I remember when I first saw that game, thinking it looked the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life.
I remember,
Then the other day, I'd look at some YouTube videos, and I can't believe how stupid I was. It's
mad, isn't it? Yeah, because I remember there's like basically that and Duke Nukem Forever one that, like the last few games that I remember like opening a magazine and being like, no, that cannot be in-game footage. That's ridiculous. And yeah, now it looks pretty dreadful. But I loved Oblivion back in the day. So
yeah, me too.
I don't know what I want from a remaster necessarily, because I'm assuming I wouldn't enjoy it half as much if I replayed the original now. So I probably do want it modernizing, but then I don't really like modern Bethesda games all that much. So I don't know what I want from this. But I mean, the screenshots and stuff that have leaked look really good. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming for Xbox Series X and S and also PS5 apparently. So. Which also, I was wrong about that, as Shai said in the chat. It only came out on 360, not on PS3.
Right.
So Oblivion was before Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because I've got no interest in the series and I've not played any of them or whatever, but it was quite interesting seeing everyone say Skyrim was the greatest game of all time, and then it go through that whole sort of peak and drop again where everyone was going, now I preferred Oblivion. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the conversation I heard as
well,
time
I
went by.
always preferred Oblivion, but I know what you mean.
Right.
Yeah, like the people's love for Skyrim baffles me.
Yeah, so
Really?
It's fine. It's all right. People just still go like absolutely insane for it. It's had about 5 re-releases and what have you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find it really strange. But then I couldn't tell you why I preferred Oblivion. I think it was just I was a student at the time and had infinite free time and was just like, oh, brilliant. I can just spend forever in this.
You see, I was saying, like, the problem... You see, I really loved Oblivion. I thought it was great when I played it on 360. Also, an update to that, apparently Shai was wrong, and it did come out on PS3 later. That did happen. Just keep...
Stop getting your news from Shai.
Yeah,
I know, it was a
Listen,
mistake.
No offence,
Hi, Mr.
Shai,
Shai
but don't listen to it.
But no, I loved it when it came out, and I played it a lot on 360, although it was very buggy. There was a lot of bugs with it. And I mean, you know, there's all those like funny. If you go on YouTube, just search for Oblivion like voice acting, and it's all like mistakes and stuff like that they just left in the game of people like recording stuff and then saying things like, "Oh, sorry, can I do that again?" And it's just which is
what annoys me is like you always see like YouTubers like voice acting gaffes or whatever, and it's like, no, the voice actor didn't do anything wrong. It's whoever edited it.
Yeah.
And, fair play, they'd have had millions of lines to sift through and stuff. I'm sure it's a fucking nightmare. But technically, it's not the voice actor's fault.
No,
they did their job. It's the sound people who should have cut that bit
Yeah,
better.
it's the sound people. Can we put It's the Sound People down as an episode?
God.
There's a lot this week, listeners.
But also the other problem with this is, even though I have fond memories of it and it looks good, it's still a Bethesda RPG at this point. And I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I know they're not comparable really, but they kind of are.
Yeah,
in a sense.
they massively are. Yeah, it's crazy.
it's
Yeah,
like-
because I think it takes a lot from them and it learns a lot from those games. But obviously it does its own thing and it's so much better.
That is what I was thinking about when I was playing it, like before I went away, because I was just thinking this really reminds me of Daggerfall actually, which was that was like pre Morrowind's like Elder Scrolls, and it's basically what I wanted Daggerfall to be, and it is, and it's like, yeah, it's really good.
It's funny because Elder Scrolls is a lot like Monster Hunter in that it's found more and more success as the edges have been sanded off and it's been a bit, all been made a bit more user friendly. So yeah, so with like the Elder Scrolls series, you get, there are people who are like, oh no, the rot set in after Morrowind, and then others are like, no, I really loved Oblivion, but Skyrim was shit. And people sort of exist on this spectrum, and like Monster is sort of finding the same thing now, but it's interesting.
What's the equivalent of someone that's just that you're like, all right, mate? Like someone coming in and going, well, actually, I prefer Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, I know, but we're not really talking about that now, mate. Is that the game we'd go to?
I don't know. Dragon's Dogma is certainly one of them, right? Because it's so fucking awkward. But that's the point. And like with like the Elder Scrolls, like I think people now who are like, no, Daggerfall was the best, and then it was shit after that. that's probably pushing it these days. I think if you look at Daggerfall now, like certainly in terms of scope, it was like, no, it's an entire continent. Like it's kind of incredible what they did with it, but to actually play it now is
it's still, I think, the biggest game world like ever created or whatever. But it's yeah. I mean, at the time, but again, incredibly buggy, massive mess. But it was still very ambitious and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Good music as well. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the news.
All right then, let's get to what we've been playing, and let's start with some new games, shall we? Let's get to James with Lost Records, Tape 2, Bloom and Rage, Tape 2. Was the second tape called Rage?
Yeah, I think so.
Brilliant.
yeah, really paying attention.
One thing we were excited about. Okay.
Yeah, so I went back to this, and I had very low expectations, honestly, playing this, like, because the first tape I didn't think was that great, and I didn't find any of the characters likable or interesting.
When I saw you playing it, I was like, James, you're insane.
It's all I had to play.
You're
ill.
Thing. Within an hour of you playing like the first game, you were like, fuck this is dreadful, I hate this. And I'm like, well, stop playing it then. It's like 8 hours long. And you've seen it through to the end and went, that was the worst thing I've played this year. And then I see you going, right, new one's out, better play through this. Honestly, I don't know where your head's at.
The reason I played it was because I'm away from home and I had the Portal with me, and there's not much on there at the moment that I want to play that's in the PlayStation library, but this was. So I thought, okay, I'll play it. I mean, I was always going to play it. It was always going to happen. And but yeah,
I thought it was okay, but I have no interest in going to Tape 2.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. You were quite positive about it.
I was more in relation to James. But still story-wise, it was like, have I really got another 8 hours in me?
Ask you, Matt, is there part of you where your head goes, well, it's not going to be in the Gotti show, so I'm not going to bother? Is that on your mind?
Well, part of both, it's 8 hours like I'm playing on another game, frankly.
Well, the second tape is only like 4 hours long, I think. It's a lot shorter.
It's only about 3 or 4 hours, yeah. It's not.
Okay, well, how good is it, James?
Well, it's an improvement,
It's the greatest game I've ever played.
Yeah, I was waiting for that twist.
No, it's definitely an improvement on the first tape, mostly because it is a lot shorter and it's a lot more focused, which is good. Because the other one, it went off all over the place, and it brought in like concepts and ideas that didn't do anything with them, and it was just not really very enjoyable. This one, again, as I said, much more focused, but in general, I was still incredibly unsatisfied by the time I finished this, mostly because although that there is this like a greater focus, I still didn't resonate with any of these characters at all. And I think part of the problem with that is because one of the most interesting characters, this character called Kat, who's she's like one of the girls, you don't spend quite so much time with her, and you don't really sort of explore why she's feeling the way she is. Like, there's a very obvious reason why she's feeling the way she is, but it doesn't really sort of, because you spend so much time with Swan, who is a very boring character, like, honestly, like a really, really boring character, where she's really bland, not very interesting. Her interactions with other people are not very interesting. And I just felt it would have been much more interesting to have followed this other character instead and see how they were coping and how they were dealing with the with the problem that they're going through, rather than sort of seeing it sort of third hand through Swan instead. But also, and this was one of the biggest problems I had with it, because I know that these are teenagers, and teenagers sometimes do behave in kind of inexplicable ways. Like, they maybe do things which maybe don't make any sense or whatever, or at least on the surface don't make any sense. But in this, it wasn't the fact that they did stuff that was inexplicable. It was just that they did things that then made me feel completely sort of unempathetic towards them, because I just thought, that's like, why are you doing that? Like, that's it's like, I know you're angry, about stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're teenagers, right? I mean,
no, it's worse than
not.
that. It's like there's a moment in it, and we won't go into details, but there's a bit where they're trying to stick it to the man, but what they do is so disproportionate to what they should be doing. It's like, well, I don't want to be a part of this, actually. This is actually too bad.
And that was exactly the thing, because it was like, I was hoping that at some point while this was all going on, I'd get the chance to be like, no, this is too much. Like, we shouldn't probably be going this far. This is like not really the right thing. And what I didn't like about it was the way that it then, like the people that they are punishing in this game deserve to be punished. They're awful people, like they genuinely are. But the way they go about it just makes you just feel like I don't feel so much sympathy for you for what you're doing here, like with this. It was just kind of, I don't know. I didn't feel it was like very well resolved, and the biggest problem though also was that like the ending had like is obviously was intended to have some sort of like emotional impact, like on the way that it sort of ties everything together, but they completely undermine the ending by then like having a post-credit sequence that sets up a sequel, which then is kind of like, okay, what we've just gone through doesn't have much meaning, like, because of this. So I don't know. I just felt very disappointed because I just felt these characters don't feel like three-dimensional enough to me, like at all. They did feel like sort of caricatures, and it was, yeah, I didn't think it was that great at all. And I love these kind of games. Like I really love these storytelling games, and it just feels. I just didn't think the writing was that good in this. And I know that maybe I'm not the target audience, but I still, I still feel that I would appreciate like a well-told story, and I don't think this was a very well-told story. It did seem to me
that, and I mean, based on what I played of the first tape, that it was written in a way to try and appeal to people who, to people like me, but without understanding what I want. Like I want diversity in my games, and I want different characters, I want more interesting characters. But everything sounded like a soundbite at one point, as if to go, "Hey, see, we're on your side with things," and I'm like, well, I don't want that. Like, I want the tone of it, and I want, I don't necessarily want something that completely tries to incorporate my political views or anything. I don't want that I want an interesting piece, and what I found with this is that it was just nonsense sound bites, like and little flashes of we're really, we've got, you know how we feel about things. I'm like, yeah, I do, but I don't need this. Like, this is like, I don't know. That was the reaction I got from it, and I just thought, my worry is this, right? Life is Strange, the first series was fucking fantastic, right? And it gained a certain audience. It sold really well and everything. I think ever since then, it's been about how do we actually make money off of this concept, because I think that one did make money, but every series since then it feels like the audience is getting smaller and smaller. And you look at what's happened to Life is Strange, and you look at True Colours, which was okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst.
It was still good though. Like compared with
this, all right, yeah.
It was but
you could see that they vastly downscaled everything about those games. Way less locations, way less cast members, shorter episodes. It was all sort of scaled down to a piece, right? And then you played.
But sorry to interrupt, but that in itself is not an issue. I wouldn't mind if there were shorter episodes and each one's a tight hour rather than 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And it's like, well, this needs to be a story. I don't mind fewer locations. Again, if it's all about the story and the characters, I don't care if it's one location for an hour. If it's a good story and you can tell it with the right people, then great.
And I'm not criticising it for that. What I'm saying is that it gets that feeling that as we've progressed, they're looking at ways to maximise how much they're getting out of these games, reduce development costs, and bring in as much money as possible. That's the decision they bought Max back, and this is the decision they really focus. I don't know. This just felt wrong from the start. And it's like, are you here to tell me a story, or are you here to make as much money as possible? And the answer really is both. But I don't want to see that second part of that question so in my face. Like, do you know what I mean? With the monetization, with the smaller locations, the clearly lower development costs and stuff. You don't hear me say that about other indie games. You don't hear me think, oh, there's well, you wouldn't hear me think anything, but you don't hear me saying like these indie games. Oh, you can clearly see how they've tried to keep the budget low because, well, it's you kind of expect that, but also it's not really about that. Whereas these, I think that's been brought to the forefront with the last few Don't Nod and Deck 9 games. I think that's really been obvious that that's what they're doing. And it
but then you can see it in things like Yakuza where they have like shared environments across multiple games. So I think it's less about
totally. I mean,
everyone in games is trying to save money and do more with less. Like that's just
that's the thing, though, because but like with the Yakuza games and stuff, they're still telling good stories. And then also,
I think ultimately that's what it boils down to, really.
And I would say the same. Like, okay, if we think about like Tell Me Why, right? That wasn't an amazing game. Like there was problems with that game, but story-wise, it was still interesting, and also it gave you felt empathy for the characters and this kind of thing. This is what I felt was missing here. I didn't think that these were well-developed characters at all. Was the problem? Yeah,
and even with the last Deck 9 game, like Max, we should love that character. But we all came away from that feeling like, was that the Max that we fell in love with? Because it didn't really feel like the Max that we fell in love with in Season 1. So, I don't know. My worry is that this is the death of this style of game. I think, not the genre. I think everyone will always want moral choice, decision, narrative-based games. And as we said, we always bring it up, but As Dusk Falls did something new with it, and it was fantastic. Again, had the odd problem, and I had issues with how that game ended, but for the main part, I thought it was a brilliant step in the right direction for that type of game. And that did the same thing, right? So my problem is not that they are trying to save money on development costs, right? And my problem is not that they are trying to get as much money by selling this product, because clearly As Dusk Falls it appeared to be quite a low development cost on that game. There's a lot of things that they did that you think, oh, that actually the way they're doing that means that they don't have to animate as much and they don't have to do this, and you could. But it wasn't at the forefront of everything that I'm watching on the screen. It wasn't so obvious that that's what was going on, and I just think that these style of games, these sort of Life is Strange type games, I just don't see how they have a future. And I'd love to see something new, or the idea of around As Dusk Falls comes back into the fray again, and we start getting more interesting narrative-based decision games. Like, because I'll never tire of them. I always love them. Like, they're always interesting to play, but not these ones anymore.
It's just the thing that really bugs me with this. I was just thinking about it. It's the lack of character development really bugs me. Like when I was thinking about Life is Strange, like the original of that. You think about like kind of the journey that those characters go on and the way they change and what we learn about them. But even characters like David, like you remember, like there's an evolution there to that character, and and what sort of a person he becomes.
I'm a host. Yeah, I'm always myself on this thing. No, I know what you're talking about. But David was he was one of those ones where it was kind of like, hey, we're going to paint a really obvious character, but we're going to switcheroo it.
But there was still like a character development there. Whereas,
you are right. Yeah.
If you take a character from this, like for example, one of the characters like Autumn, I don't know anything about her really. Like I really don't. From playing this, I don't feel like I know much about her at all. And it's just a shame, because it would have been good to learn a bit more. But there you go. That's that.
What else have you been playing this week, James?
So the other game I played this on Switch, is a game called Shanghai Summer. And Shanghai Summer it's another narrative-driven adventure game. It's Futu Studio, and
it does sound like a sort of Saved by the Bell special episode that they put on for an hour. Saved by the Bell Shanghai Summer. And take all the cast over to Shanghai. Okay.
But yeah, it came out in February last year, and I've kind of had it on my wish list for like a long time, because I just thought it looks interesting. It's set in Shanghai in 2003, and like I was immediately like attracted because I'd like noticed locations and like the way people are dressed and all that kind of thing. I thought I'd like to experience that. And so what it is it's a game where you follow this guy who has like recently graduated from university, and it's clear that then some kind of event has happened in his past, but he's kind of blocked it out and he doesn't remember anything about it. It then does the thing which seems to be quite common these days, where he is met by a cat who then basically says to him, there's something wrong here, and you need to try and figure out what this is, and who this person is, and you need to do this by sort of going through a like you have to like sort of bring all the evidence together, and then you need to sort of try and piece together, what's happened. And then what happens is you then can then go back in time to certain points over 12 days, and you can like relive like parts of conversations and parts of events to try and sort of shift reality to try and figure out, what had happened in the past, so that you can move forward. And there's like the thing, I mean, there's like you have like a journal with like clues and stuff that you can write in, but I didn't really bother with that because the dialogue's pretty simplistic, and you can keep it in your head. This isn't Blueprint, so I haven't got to sit there with a notebook writing everything down. It's like it's pretty straightforward.
Heaven forbid. No, the you do like. I'd love to see that in a game. Hey, you might want to get notebook for this one and write things down, and it's all just really obvious basic puzzles. Okay.
Yeah, so you travel, like back to different points, and you have different conversations, and the whole point of the game is it's supposed to be it's really talking about this idea of like regret and how you can move on from regret, by trying to sort of resolve, experiences or conversations you've had with people in the past. And it's not a very long game. It's only about 3 hours long, and it's like, I mean, I finished most of the sort of the tree, as it were, of like, sort of the timeline, and it does get a bit frustrating in places because you have the whole problem whereby it's like it's not always clear how you trigger different conversation trees and stuff like that, or at what point you need to like jump into a timeline and who you need to talk to further it in different directions. But it's possible to get through, and it also has some weird grammar problems as well. I think this is the translation maybe was could have done with a little bit more work, but it's interesting, and I would recommend it actually. I think it's worth a look. If you like narrative-driven adventure games, you will like this game, I think, because it looks really lovely as well. It's good.
Cool. What are you playing it on?
I played it on Switch.
Switch. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. How much was it on Switch?
I don't remember. I think it was probably about £7 when I bought it in a sale. I don't remember.
Too much, baby. I'm joking.
You'd hate it anyway. It's
Right?
yeah.
But I like the Phoenix. Right, there must be a narrative-driven game like this that, like, so what was it? What do you call them? Visual novels.
Yeah, it's like visual novel. Yeah.
Yeah, there must be one of those games that appeals to me, but I do think my patience is wearing thinner now.
Yeah, I mean that's
always find with this sort of thing, it's completely binary for me. I'm either well into it or I'm just like, everyone shut the fuck up. Like I'm just resenting every bit of dialogue.
Yeah. Okay, should we have a quick Blueprints update?
Yes.
Matt,
Does it have to be quick? Don't know.
make a big announcement?
Well, it's not a big announcement, yeah, but I got to room 46
Club
in
46,
the week.
baby.
Yeah, I've actually now done it a second time. And yeah, I just want to think I'm done with it. Well, so I was, obsessed with this game up until the point where I got to room 46. And I managed to, basically the run I did it, and I hadn't, so the first kind of mini objective is to get to the antechamber, but the overall objective is to get to room 46. And the run just seemed to just run perfectly. I got the right items at the right times. There's like, I think I was like 3 or 4 steps away from 3 or 4 rooms away from the end, and I was like, look, this next room has to be in a certain direction, and it happened, and I unlocked another room which gave me extra steps. It just, the whole run was just perfect basically, and I managed to open both the antechamber and room 46 in the same run, and I did it. But I was so obsessed with the game at that point, I was like, okay, I need a couple of days off this, and not thinking about it, not dreaming about this game. But then I've got another couple of friends who have started playing it, and when they're like, oh, Matt, how's this work? And I'm like, oh, well, this. And they're like, oh, I've discovered this. I'm like, you discovered what? And that just brings me back in, and yeah, I've also hammered it again this week. And I think yesterday I got to room 46 again, and that kind of, there's more things to do. And it actually, I always feel more overwhelmed now, having put 40 hours into it. I'm only on day 27. I think I got to room 46 on day 24. But I thought that there's so much more to like see and do, and so I've been on the Rollmuck thread, and when people have like clearly labelled spoilers about this stuff pre-room 46, I'm like, okay, I can look at it. But now I'm looking at stuff afterwards. I'm a little bit less precious about spoilers, but like the stuff I'm reading, I'm like, I don't even understand what it is you're saying, and I'm in the same rooms that they are. And I've seen certain things in rooms, like, okay, cool, but I don't know if you do that, it unlocks this and it does this. I'm like, how do you know that? how are you managing to piece it all together? There's so much more to do, and I almost feel more overwhelmed now, and just as far away as I did before I even got to Room 46. But I still cannot stop thinking about it. Still can't really stop playing it. There's still more stuff to unlock, and the friends who are playing it. I'm like, oh, bloody hell, I was going to watch a movie or do something else tonight, but okay, I'll do one more run, and it's absolutely incredible. It's like there's so many layers, it's so deep, there's so much to it, and I can't stop thinking or playing with it, really. I mean, I think I need to at some point, obviously, but I also feel like this could be a forever game. I mean, I don't know how deep this thing goes. There's so much to it. I can now fully see why Jason Schreier said he put 125 hours into it after maybe getting to Room 46, I think, in like 20 hours, I think he said. I can totally get that, because there's just so many things to do. I've in my notes on iOS, I've got like, puzzle things that I'm trying to collect, or like, solutions to certain things if I need to do them again. But there's also like a massive kind of to-do list of things where they're not just notes of, oh, there's a thing in this room. It's like, here's how to do this, or here's like things I need to do based on a couple of clues I found. That has only got bigger since getting to Room 46. It hasn't like shrunk down really. I'm still like, well, what is that? There's a massive thing just right in front of me. I'm like, well, hang on. I've got through not the entire game, but I've got through to the objective, the end point that you would maybe say it is by getting to Room 46. So I'm like, well, hang on, I haven't even done. How have I still not even used that thing? And it's incredible. I need to stop at some point, but every time someone new starts playing it and asks me a question, I'm like, fucking hell, I'll go back, I guess. But what a game! James, you're still not playing, obviously. Sean and David, are you carrying on, or what's the deal?
So I've reached Room 46.
Nice, congrats
and everything. Thank you. I'm happy to have a break from it, but I'm definitely going back. Yeah, like I think like, for anyone listening who's like, oh great, so I finish it and then I still don't feel like it's over. Like I definitely, having seen credits, I don't feel like I have to continue with it. I want to, but it's not like, oh, I haven't finished it yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've had like a brilliant experience with it. If I didn't discover anything else, I'd be happy with what I've played of it. But as you say,
I kind of felt like that with Hades, like the original Hades. I know that I missed so much of the story in that because I completed it once and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also felt like, no, my story is done with that. I really enjoyed what I played of that. I don't need to carry on. But yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I don't know where I'm at with it. I've not played it for a few days. I've been away over Easter, so I've not been playing it. The day we went away, I did loads of things, like tons of stuff that I didn't know was a thing. I also tried my theory of looking at the ground and walking around outside.
Oh yeah.
Because in the book where it sort of suggests that might be an idea, there's a bridge in it, and I got to the bridge that's in that, and I was like, oh right, so I'm going to go to the bridge and not look up to the sky and see what happens, and nothing happened. And I go through periods of thinking it's really quite dull, quite repetitive, and I'm starting to not be interested in it. And then I do some stuff and it's pretty cool, but there are certain things where you will work out a puzzle and go, oh, the benefit I'm getting from this puzzle does not match the amount of effort I've gone through to get here. And that, again, is one of those things that I probably, if I went, multiple layers down into this game and looked at a wider pit, I'll go, no, that's amazing, because I got a clue for this puzzle right near the start, and I didn't understand what even the puzzle was until 100 hours in or whatever. But also that's quite frustrating to go through as you're playing it, because you go, oh right, this time I'm going to do this, this and this, and if this all comes together, and it has, wicked, here's a note, and it means nothing. And I'm like, okay, all right. When, like, for example, working out the picture thing. So I finally got all of the picture things. And then I was like, right, okay, but that doesn't really give me much to go on.
Yeah.
So really, I've spent a lot of time piecing this together. And the payoff to that is a sort of clue that isn't really fully a clue. It's kind of half a clue. And then I've had a lot of moments where I spent a long time trying to work out a puzzle, and then 10 hours later, there's a sheet of paper that goes, here's the solution to the puzzle. And I'm kind of like, yeah, but I've worked it out. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's stuff like that. I think music is way more important now than I thought it was at the time. There is some musical stuff in this that I was like, oh, okay. Like, for example, I found a room in that game, and it set the soundtrack for every room. So the soundtrack stayed from that room.
Did you mean? I mean, we can name the room, or?
Yeah, I think it was a nursery. I think it was a nursery.
I was gonna say, because the music in the music room is absolutely beautiful. Like, I think that changes things as well. But
yeah, I think it probably does.
Yeah, the music in the music room. I mean, like, yeah,
maybe it wasn't in the music room, but I think it was a nursery. I walked in there, changed the music, and usually the music changes depending on which room and context you're going through. Whereas that room set the music for the next like 10 minutes I was playing, like it didn't stop.
Okay.
I also did the stuff in the garage, and I've opened a lot of outside without so I've got the extra rooms and stuff.
That's big. Yeah.
It is big, but and then also I'm like failing to see the real benefit of my progress yet, and I'm hoping that comes together. Oh, and I found the Zoltan style thing.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
that is cool. But again, that seemed to suggest to me that everything you're doing is pointless. Something else you need to do that we're not telling you.
I will say so to explain to everyone, it's like a fortune teller, right? And
yeah, it's like up. No, big. That's one.
Up.
Yeah, I was like, it's a one
There's
word
an old
thing.
man in a house.
Yeah.
I still don't understand some of the first stuff he told me. Some of the later stuff was a bit more straightforward.
Right, the stuff on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's good then. Okay, so maybe I could talk about it then without it being a spoiler.
What I will say is, like, by the time I'd reached room 46, there was a lot of stuff that really came together at the end. A lot of things I'd put in place without really knowing what they were for. That suddenly all came together. I was like,
it happened to me.
Like I think you can probably get very close to room 46 without actually being able to do it, without doing a bunch of other stuff first. But I was very lucky that I'd already set a lot of that stuff up.
Right. Yeah, I'd moved something in a previous run, just like, what is this? How do I do it? And then when I was reading other people getting to certain bits, I'm like, I was really fucked because that thing was in this certain place. I'm like, I just did it on a previous run to see what the deal was. Again, like the run to get the 46 first time, just everything worked out. Everything worked out perfectly.
Here's the thing that made me laugh as well. So I mentioned last week that I got the foundation room. I went to play it the next day, and there'd been an update, so I lost the progress from that day.
Oh, that happened to one of my friends.
Right.
Yeah.
It took me fucking ages to get that foundation room back again.
Really?
I was so frustrated.
So it's not like there's a hidden timer saying, well, by this day, probably start adding the foundation to the pool. Yeah.
No, it took ages to get back to where I was, and I was like, fuck's sake. Look, I don't hate the game. I don't dislike the game. It's funny. Every time I feel like I'm done with it, I do something and it opens up a lot more. And I don't think that's a coincidence, because a lot of people say that. I think I'm going to get room 46. I'll be surprised if I'm still interested after that. It might be one of those things where it's like, I've done it, I feel complete, I will read all of the other stuff, which I think is a perfectly valid thing to do, to be honest with you, if you think it's going to take over your life. I really don't like the idea of spending 140 hours inside this game. I'll be honest with you. Doesn't appeal to me whatsoever.
It wasn't my plan either, but then mysteries happen and
so we'll see how it goes this week, but there's so much I want to get to. I definitely want to play South of Midnight. I really want to play that, and it's been on my hard drive and staring at me for the past God knows how long.
There's Avowed, there's Atomfall.
Yeah, I'm not really into Avowed, and Atomfall didn't grab me in the 45 minutes that I gave it. I mean, I might go back to it, but then also Kingdom Come, I'm still really.
Well, actually, I want to speak about that briefly. So I am determined to play it again, but the 2 sessions I played, and this was before Blueprints came into my life, I was like, it's night time. I couldn't sleep anymore because apparently I must have slept too long before. I'm hungry. It's dark. I'm fucked. I'm like, I just can I press a button and get to a mission marker and do a regular mission? I feel like I've
just do it. That's the game. But
it's like they're like, you're hungry, you're dirty. It's like, okay, wash yourself in the pail of water, whatever it is outside the barn. It just feels like I just need to push through 1-2 hour session and get me through and actually get me on the track of mission. Because right now I'm
Right,
like,
okay,
I'm just
okay, do you want my
fucked. I'm
advice?
hungry. I'm dark. I'm tired.
Treat that as a quest. I need food. What am I going to do? There's options. You can go and work. You can steal. You can, go and pick food from the forest or whatever. You just
honey.
treat that as a mission. That's what you've got to do. And you've not got to. The one thing that you can't do with Kingdom Come Deliverance is follow quest lines.
I'm not even on that really. I'm just,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just go with it and see what happens, because that's where the game shines. Like it's you'll come across something or start talking to someone or something will happen, and then suddenly your 2 hours have gone by and you're like, I haven't done a single mission on my checklist yet. Yeah, I've had all these experiences and all this weird shit happen.
And that's the thing, because it's not really the kind of game where it is like check things off. It's more sort of like, it is like you're having experiences as you're going, but gradually through those experiences your character builds and gets stronger and better at everything, and then the main stuff becomes easier, and then becomes then you can start to do that. But it is a massive time investment, basically, the whole thing to get into it. It's
and you've got to trust it a little bit. You
like
can't sit there thinking it's screwing you constantly. You've got to sort of just go with it a little bit and let it do its thing.
I think I put like 5-7 hours into it. I was loving it, even though it was a bit like, overwhelming or intimidating. But it's just, I know where I am now. It's like I said, I can't sleep anymore. It's dark. I'm tired. I've got nothing. I was like, I'm just going to have to push through till morning. Like, I don't think I slept. It wasn't like I slept for 18 hours a day, but I guess I must have.
You can press the wait button. That helps in those situations.
Yeah, you can just wait.
So you press
sit on a bench.
or just press the start. I can't remember what button it is, but you can press a button and you can just sit and wait for.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that because
and that helps.
Yeah, like the other day, it's like, okay, I'm gonna stop playing Improvements. I'm just gonna play this because I obviously need to get done before end of the year. I know we're only in, we're 30% through the year, but I need to properly start now. But yeah, I was just like, it's just too much to do. But I just need to get 2 hours under my belt, and another 2 hours, and I'm like, just push through and actually start doing the game as it's supposed to be done. But
this is the problem though, because. Look, I know. Look, I'm not having a pop here, but I know what your brain's like, and you're just trying to maximise everything.
Well, no, I don't think I've even got to that bit. It's just the fact that I'm like, it's pitch black. I have nothing. It's constantly saying you're hungry. You're that. It's like, okay, I guess I have to. I can't sleep anymore.
And trying to eat.
I've been eating food, but I don't know. I guess not enough.
Sound like anyway.
It, mate. I've been eating food. I'm eating soup and all sorts. And
I love the fact that you will load that game up, eat whatever food you've got in your inventory, not realising that it's rotten, and spend the rest possibly just throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, I will get to it because I want to. I need to, but it's just like.
There is like initially there's a definite crawl towards being a functional human being in that game.
Yeah. You feel like a baby out of a womb again, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like
it is. It took me at least sort of 25, maybe 30 hours before I've got like a character now where I feel is like can deal with a lot of situations, because you can't, like at the beginning of the game. It's really difficult because your character is rubbish at
combat's
everything.
wank as well. It's like every time there's like train with me. I'm like, I've lost every single. I haven't won. I think maybe I won the first one where you were punching, but anyway, I don't know. I will get to it.
That early mission with the nobleman and his mate, the one you missed out on, Dave. Like it makes a point of like they say to you like, oh, you any good at fighting, and you're one of the options to be like, well, yeah, I'm actually somewhat of a swordsman. And basically the response is like, no, you're not. Like, like you can have a club that's more your sort of speed.
And that's your level.
Yeah, and they're making a point that like, presumably, this was a thing back in the day, but also in terms of the systems, it's like, yeah, you'll have a much easier time in combat if you start out with easy weapons. Like, you can't just go for the coolest sword necessarily because you do not know how to use it. Like,
I thought I'd be a dab man with a warhammer at the beginning, and
I learned that very very quickly when I come across a sword that was really high spec, and every time I went to like use it, it took an hour for him to swing the sword down. It was well funny. Stick with it, Matt. Stick.
Yeah, I would do.
Sean, you've got a couple of games left that we haven't spoken about.
Hello, I've started playing. So as I say, not finished, but I'm at a point where I can put Blueprints to one side for a bit. One of the reasons I really wanted to do that is because on the same day that Blueprints came out. There was also Promise Mascot Agent.
Yeah, this is on the list. And I feel like it's got totally overlooked because everyone's just some
Well,
Blueprints.
exactly. Like I think
Mania.
it's done all right. Like there's still plenty of positive chat around it, but yeah, it felt a bit like it kind of got smothered by Blueprints. And
Yeah.
it felt really bad because this is from Kaizen Gameworks, people who did Paradise Killer. It's kind of not, but there is like thematically there's a bit of a through line between the two games, but for the most part they're not really anything alike. Like Paradise Killer was such a fascinating game. I was sort of excited for them to do like another similar thing, where it's kind of a sprawling sort of detective game. It's not that at all.
Is it not? That's
no. So this is a game where I think you'll really like this, James.
Okay.
Really?
It's once again, it's because I think I can't remember. I think Kaizen Gameworks. I don't think any of them are Japanese, or some of them live there, or I can't remember. But they're obviously a huge love of Japanese culture, and this continues to tap into that. So basically, the story is you play as this guy Michi, who was a Yakuza sort of enforcer, and you're part of this one Yakuza family that's kind of dying, but you're forming an alliance with this other house, right? And you're supposed to oversee this. Basically, you're donating like 12 billion yen to this other family to form this alliance. The deal goes bad, you lose the money, and the way you're told. So then basically the boss of your Yakuza family is like, right, we're kind of fucked. Like, all the other Yakuza families are like picking at us now because they know we're really weak, and we've lost all this money. They're like seizing our assets and stuff. So we need you to go. We're going to fake your death, and you're going to go and run our one asset that nobody knows about, our one business asset that no one gives a shit about, which is a mascot agency in this shithole town that no one ever visits.
Oh, this does sound like something I want to play, especially because is it true that it's Kiryu's voice actor?
Yeah.
Fuck, okay, well, I'm gonna have to play this now.
And yeah, so it's kind of absurd, obviously. So yeah, as I say, you're this cool, tough Yakuza guy who he's known as the janitor, and he always carries this broom around with him, which they do explain at one point, but it's kind of funnier that it's just like, why has he got a broom? And it's and it's very much like implied that he's really good in a fight, but you don't do any fighting in this. Like it's a management sim essentially, but with loads of story and loads of like driving around town in this little truck of yours. So when you first get there and you're like, right, it's this mascot agency. It's being run by Pinky, who's the mascot. So the mascots in this game, they're not like people in costumes. They're like magical creatures who are like just sort of were born from the land. Pinky is a mascot who she basically resembles like a severed pinky finger, which obviously is a fun joke if you're into Yakuza stuff. She appears to be a complete psychopath. She's been running she's like, look, the mascot stuff didn't work out, so I've been running this as a love hotel, but if you want to make it a mascot business again, then fine. And then basically your job is to go around town hiring mascots and like get other sort of support characters, and then doing jobs where it's like, right, someone's this like school's having an event, they need a mascot, have a guy who's a block of tofu that can't stop crying, and stuff like all the mascots you get are all insane and weird and wonderful. They're really funny to meet. Like Pinky, who's the one, although she is a mascot, she's like, look, I don't do mascot stuff. I did like a kid's birthday party. It didn't end well. So she just helps you with the admin stuff. And it's just, I've just really enjoyed the general vibe of it. Like I'm saying before about like visual novel style stuff. I'm just very happy to get into conversations because they're normally pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pinky sort of doesn't really know much about you. She knows you, this sort of ex-Yakuza, and she'll just like, you'll meet new people, and she'll be like, hey, this is my new friend Michi. I'm pretty sure he's killed people, and stuff. Like, it's just a good laugh. And what's really interesting is, so as I say, you spend a lot of time driving around the town, and there's this sort of overarching theme that like the mayor is a prick, and he's accepted loads of like government funds that were supposed to improve the town and kind of kept it all for himself. And you are, as well as running this mascot agency, you're given all these opportunities to try and help turn the town around as well. And I'm interested because it looks like shit certainly at the start of the game. I'm only sort of 3-4 hours in. I'm really hopeful that like it does sort of transform as you improve things, and yeah, it's just like as you're driving around the town, it feels weirdly inspired by Forza Horizon, in that it's littered with stuff like boards for you to smash, and there'll be like garbage bags lying around, and you bash into them and you get points for clearing them up. But then also it's got, in Forza Horizon, you can just tell your sat nav to be like, right, I want to do like this type of race, or I want to do this sort of event. It's like, right, here you go, here's a waypoint. It's got that. Like you can just ask Pinky at any time to be like, right, I want to find a new mascot, or I want to do this sort of mission, or I want to do this, and she's like, yeah, cool, here's a waypoint, and it's just really slick, but still has that sort of weird forgotten PS2 game sort of feel that Paradise Killer has.
Do you know how long it is? Like, is it excessively long or not? Okay.
As I say, I'm sort of 3-4 hours in. I feel like I've barely scratched the surface so far.
Did you say what you're playing it on? I can't remember.
So I'm playing it on Steam Deck.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure. I think it's on everything.
See,
it is. Yeah, I was looking when this came out on launch day. It was definitely on PlayStation and Xbox.
Okay.
It's on Switch as well. It's like 20 quid, and I don't know if it was any cheaper anywhere else. But yeah,
Let's see.
Probably cheaper everywhere else, if I know the Switch correctly.
Well, I think when I checked, they're all around that price. There's various kind of launch day or launch week discounts.
Switch Defense Force, like fucking sweeping in. You'll be sick of it. You'll be sick of it soon.
Okay, so Ben in the chat says he got the platinum in 16 hours, and Phil says how long to beat says 17. So Ben's a pro, apparently.
Also, or a liar.
Or a liar. Yeah,
we haven't explored that avenue, have we?
So yeah, keen to play a lot more of that. The only other one I was going to talk about, fairly brief, I decided to reinstall Hearthstone.
Right, okay. Let's get to Go.
The World of Warcraft card game, because I'm a big
World
of Warcraft guy.
Why? Haven't you got enough going on in your life?
I haven't had anything good to play on the phone for a bit. I've sort of ran out of steam with Balatro, which I think is fair enough, given that I've put God knows how much more time into it on the phone.
Yeah.
No, it's just been interesting and bewildering trying to get back into a game like this after years away from it. Because I remember a few years ago I got an email from them saying like, "Hey, we've given you like 80 packs of cards if you want to come back," which didn't work at the time clearly. And it's an interesting tactic.
81 packs of cards? Question mark.
Trying to sweeten the pot, but it turns out when you go back to a game like this and it's completely changed, because obviously these games are constantly evolving and new stuff's coming out and what have you. Giving you 80 packs of cards is a great way to feel absolutely fuck all about getting new cards, because none of this means anything to me.
No excitement. Yeah. You've got Blibble.
Yeah,
great!
Cool.
Is that good?
Right, yeah.
No, Blibble's bad.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
bad Blibble.
all the decks you previously built are now all like.
You've now got Blobble. And it's a hologram one.
So yeah, I'm like sort of enjoying it, but it's just like it's like they put things in to be like, hey, here's like some objectives to follow. It's like a
That's
welcome
never
back
convincing. Saying I'm sort of enjoying it, it's never really there, is it?
I am enjoying it, but it's the barriers to that are just interesting in that like there is stuff that's like, hey, here's some objectives to follow to like welcome you back in. It's like, no, give me like a video that's like, right, man, it's been 3 years. Here's what we added. Here's what we've got rid of. Here's what here's the theming of the new stuff. Here's new mechanics we've added. But it doesn't really do that. Just sort of throws you in.
I love it if it
stuff
did.
on YouTube.
If you launched it and it was one of the devs going, all right, Sean, here's what's been happening while you've been away.
Just checked when you last logged in, and here's your custom.
We've made 20,000 redundancies. There's a big controversy in Asia. Yeah, no, but I mean, like, if on the odd occasion I go back to Destiny, I'm like, okay, Destiny 2025, 2020. That's basically like, okay, what's happening in this game? I'm sure there's probably similar videos for Hearthstone.
Yeah. So again, yeah, I'll continue with it. It's just a very strange experience going back.
Cool. That's what we've been playing this week. It's time to get to your emails/questions.
They're not actually email. Well, none of them are emails, are they?
I know, mate. Just don't fucking dwell on that. Don't pick me up on every little thing. I don't think we should be doing that on this submissions. Okay.
If you want to send us one of those, go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Grim Gnarly says, with the release of a mod that allows co-op Dark Souls Remastered, will we ever get to see or hear new episodes of Dark Calls, maybe Darker Calls? What could be better than James and the other one co-oping and arguing / complaining / crying / lying and loving together? Nothing could be better.
Nah.
Great
Well,
question.
No more
Oh.
calls.
You'd both
No
need
calls.
PCs for a start.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It is.
James
I mean,
and
I
I-
had a quick look at the mod. It allows up to 5 players.
Oh,
really?
Like,
sick.
how funny would that be? The
fuck?
4 of us trying to.
Yeah,
do
that
Dark
would be
Souls
quite good, actually. No, James and I had a discussion this week. We are officially killing the Calls series. It's dead. No one can do any
Not allowed to do
more.
any more, no.
Well,
No.
Sean, I've got an announcement.
We created it and we will kill it.
Yeah.
No, I have.
How about online chats? How about the Dark Souls online chat series?
No, I don't know. I think going back to that stuff wouldn't be the best thing to do. But I do still think there's something. I mean, there's something in that, isn't there? All of us jumping on
Yeah,
Dark Souls.
it's a
Oh,
good
God, yeah.
idea, but we'd all require. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
PCs
think
to do
I don't think I could play this. Like, you know,
Would all
'cause-
require.
Did
Why
James
not?
just buy a $3,000 gaming PC?
yeah, exactly.
It's
I
very
mean,
easy.
yeah.
And then don't play any
That you
games.
don't intend to use for gaming.
I played some games, Sean. I played a couple of games, baby. I played some games. I'll tell you one thing, though. I'll tell you what I shouldn't have played for the first thing I played. I shouldn't have installed that fucking Half-Life RTX thing, because that really humbled me. That really pissed me.
Really?
Like, day one of, okay, first game, I'm going to play this new Half-Life demo, RTX. I was like, hang on, this machine's shit. It's like, and it turns out I didn't have like a certain driver or something, and I haven't played it since. But that was that real wake up call. I was like, here we go.
shame.
What's this PC? It doesn't do anything actually. It's like so framed, it's ridiculous.
Have you done anything on that PC that makes you go, "Yep, money well spent"?
Well, the fact I'm doing this podcast about freaking out is going to burst into flames.
Don't need to
You've
spend
done that
£3,000 to do that.
Yeah, you could have done that
No,
for
but-
500 quid, Matt.
But by doing that, it means I won't have to upgrade for like 5 or 7 years.
James
That's
does
what,
it on an iPad every now and then.
yeah, but I didn't want to have to like keep watching. Like, this will last like 7 years. I think maybe at least, you know, like no more worries. Just it all works.
Maybe at least.
But you don't need to spend. Oh, sorry.
No, I know I didn't have to. I could have got a cheaper one and like upgraded in like 2 or 3 years. Whereas
got a
now,
Dell.
like, I don't.
But you don't
think
need
about
to
it.
keep upgrading. Like the last one I bought, like it was like $1,000, about 1,200, and then it's 7 years old already now, and it's fine. It's
Are you,
What
are you
doing
streaming on
on
that PC? Yeah, what were you doing it?
what do you mean? I do the show every week on it. I also do all the streams and stuff on it.
Oh, I thought you used your Mac.
I do, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about your Mac.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant PC. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
Well, how much was that Mac? £1,000. Okay, let's move on. Where were we?
yeah,
it would be-
Co-op
yeah.
Dark Souls would be amazing.
Co-op Dark
but
Souls would be great, yeah.
We would all need personal
I mean,
computers.
we can play that new it was in Night Rain. That's co-op, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
We're doing that.
There you go, done.
Next.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Someone who didn't supply a username says, do you remember the time when the members of Database lost their shit when someone disliked one of their YouTube videos?
Oh,
think
that's not
that's-
fair.
That's not entirely what happened.
Yeah, Sean is
No,
here, you know.
if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, because we had the same thing. It wasn't just you; it was us as well, wasn't it?
Was it basically, yeah, it was like every
going onto
time,
yeah, go
every
on.
time we put something up within minutes, someone had disliked it.
Yeah, someone had subscribed to both TCGS and Databeast, and every time one of us uploaded a video, they would instantly put a dislike next to it. Like
Yep.
there'd just be one dislike next to it, a couple of minutes after it was uploaded,
Yep.
and it really hurt our feelings.
funny,
I
innit?
didn't- Yeah, I couldn't
Sorry.
give a fuck about that stuff anymore. I remember
No,
at the
that's
time it
certainly
was
now
like,
that's-
holy
yeah.
shit, what's going on? But these days it's like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah. You got
do
that
it.
much free time. Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Major PDD says, you already know about my love for your show, but because of you, I also have a love for Ian Lee's Random Access Memories.
Yes.
We stood there face to face shooting each other for 30 seconds straight. What a geezer. Memory locked. I was hoping with your VIP connections you would have some inside information on if the show is still alive. Appreciate he's going through some tough memories at the moment. Love you all. James less this time as he had more last time.
Yeah, he just completed season 2.
I was going to say it's in
Random
seasons,
Access
isn't it?
Memories.
So it's, yeah.
Yes, he's just done his second season.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a third season. Those fucking episodes are so good. If you've not heard it, Ian Lee's Random Access Memories is a retro video game show where he gets a new guest on every week and says like bring a game and we'll talk about the game, and they barely talk about the game, but we've all been on it.
Yeah,
So
we
there's
just talked about it just a few weeks ago when I was on
there's
it.
a Matt Epp, there's a James
there's a Matt
Epp,
Epp finally, yeah.
there's a Sean Epp. You better believe there's a David Epp.
There's two David Epp in a
Two
way.
David Epps.
And there's two David Epp. Yeah, so check that out. But I don't understand we stood there face to face shooting each other for 30 seconds
I
straight.
assume
What
it
is
means
that?
Laser Quest.
Yeah, it must have been a Laser Quest. Yeah.
Oh, of
But I
course.
wasn't
Yeah,
sure if
the
you also
Laser
wanted it to
Quest.
sound smutty.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that. Oh, Matt will never know what it feels like to win a Laser Quest competition like
But
that.
that's not true. I think I've won a couple of them.
We do another one. Come on, Matt. Strap in.
One more for the road.
Next.
Spoilerbot has written in, says, hi, Spoilerbot here. Is there any reason that I wasn't invited to last week's show where you were all serving out spoilers in blueprints? Telling someone you like to film because of the twist at the end, while not revealing it, is in and of itself a spoiler. Question for the show, have you ever been annoyed when a TV show or game was ruined for you because someone talked about it a lot and gave plot points away? Cheers, lads.
That's a loaded fucking question, isn't it?
I mean,
go on.
like, I don't. We try not to spoil things on the show. Obviously, it's difficult sometimes, especially with something like Blueprints. Very non-linear progression, loads of secrets.
I cannot stress this enough. Everyone has completely levels of different levels of what spoilers are. Everyone has, honestly, some people like John Denton, and I know you're listening. Yeah, Denton. If you say to him, "Oh, there's a shotgun in this game," sometimes they go, "Oh, well, I didn't want to know that." I'm like, "Well, come on, mate.
That's obvious.
It's Doom we're talking about."
I was going to say exactly that, David. We're on.
Well, good.
On the finished others.
Don't try and say that you were going to say the same joke as me after I'd said it, because it sounds disingenuous.
Probably delivery would have been probably better, but it's fine. I mean, you did well.
I don't know.
See, but I feel like, I don't want people to spoil things for me by and large. However, I can't think of a single instance of someone telling me about something that happens in a film or game or whatever, and me being like, "Oh, well, that's ruined then."
I think there has been. I can't think of a specific example, but there must be.
I've had doom scroll. Do you doom scroll? Do you do that?
I mean, who doesn't
these days? But yeah.
Right, but we do, right?
Sean's too busy loading sugar into his drink.
It's so fucking
And then doom
dangerous.
scrolling.
Yeah.
It is so dangerous these days where you're watching a TV show. Like
Yeah,
White Lotus.
I do
Joe
hate
Sport,
that.
White Lotus. She had loads of White Lotus sport for her.
But did she enjoy it any less? Did she go, "Oh, I'm not going to watch it then"?
No, but she would have enjoyed it less because she didn't discover what happens as it was happening. She knew what was going to happen. Or what was the other one? The one that we were really Traitors. She had the final of Traitors sport for her because but do you know she got spoiled by the official Traitors thing. So we couldn't watch the finale until the Sunday. It aired on the Thursday. We couldn't watch it until the Sunday, and she said she went to the toilet on Sunday, loaded up Instagram, and it had a photo of the two winners next to Claudia.
I mean, on that, I'm gonna have to say, unfortunately, it's on Joe's. But basically, you have to avoid. You have to avoid the internet. You have to avoid, Last of Us comes out on Monday nights. Already I'm thinking tomorrow morning they'll be like, I can't believe that thing out. I just genuinely think if you're, Traitors 100%, I would have had to leave the internet or not go in. Instagram definitely, I mean, Twitter less so, but you just have to avoid, YouTube comment, YouTube usernames are that person died or whatever.
But no, what I'm saying is that is the situation, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, no. And no amount of muting words, which I used to do on Twitter, helps because, you got on Instagram, bang, it's like, here's who's won. Yes, it's just annoying. Isn't it?
Anyway, she had that sport.
The sort of the Judd Apatow comedy film thing of it's always like, the first third's all right, and then the second third things go wrong for the main character, and then in the final third everything goes all right again.
No, I didn't know that was a Judd Apatow thing. No,
I was probably not. I associate with him for some reason.
Right.
But I always enjoy those films the second time around because I know how it ends. And sometimes I think should I just look up the ending before I go and see one of these?
No, yeah,
because
I know
then
what
I
you're
would just
saying,
be
but-
like, yeah, I don't care about the bit where everything's supposedly a bit sad and because it doesn't matter. I know it works out.
God, that's like Phoebe. Fucking Friends, but where Phoebe will watch what was it? Films just when she'd stop watching it every time something bad happens or something like that. A mum didn't let her watch the ending of or
Yeah, I
whatever,
remember
so
that,
she
yeah.
thought all films are like really, really dark and horrible. And they're like, no, it gets really good at the end. Like I don't know what the.
So
Yeah,
I've had this with Isaac because he used to like if like a kid's film like had a sad bit.
Oh,
He'd
they
just be
all
like,
do.
he'd want me to
Every
turn it
single
off.
film, every single film starts with a dead parent. It's like, and I
Not every
so
single
when
film.
Eddie, I'm not sure what age it was, but she really went for like a really like sad kind of being scared and upset about death. And maybe she started to understand her own mortality, and like like every now it's like a joke. It's okay, obviously dead parents. It's like anything, even almost everything. It's ends with some tragedy, but that's art, isn't it? That's life. That's so many things. So, but it's just so upsetting with kids' films. Like, do never watch Dinosaur with like your young child because that
was shit. The
Like
Good
Jill and I were
Dinosaur,
in
though.
bits.
I mean, never
like
watch it
most of them are sad.
anyway.
It's like, but I think the only one. Basically, it's like a film. It's from the same people who did Spider-Verse. I think it's like a Pixar movie, and that's the only one didn't start with a dead parent. It's like they all do
I
it
watched
because
Mike
that's just.
Bassett England manager with Harry the other day, and it did not start with a dead parent. It started with the England manager in his underpants. No, in his all together, opening up the windows with his little willy out. Also, that film's really odd because it has a really funny moment in it where we're 2-0 down to Mexico at half time and he gives a speech to the players and it bleeps every other word for ages. Right?
Is that where he punches the thing on the wall? Like, there's a really funny thing where he like totally kicks off in the changing room, and he like he or someone punches something next to like
that's
the
before
door.
one of the games.
Oh,
It's
that's so funny.
Yeah. So anyway, he's the nutcase. He's the Vinnie Jones style character. He comes out and smashes his book. But no, halfway through, like he's doing all these and it's like beep beep beep, like everything he's saying because we're 2-0 down to the big Mexicans. Like that's like the big line in it. But for the rest of the film, there's just swearing in it, and I just went, "Why did they do?" I know I get it. It's
a
funny
comedy
for
choice.
that, but it didn't work in the context of the film. Also,
Is it a
that
thing
is
that
the
it, like,
most
affects
90s
the-
film I've ever
the
seen, even
rating
though it
if-
wasn't in the 90s. Sorry.
Does it affect the age rating if like there's a number of swears?
No, I
within
think it was a
certain time period?
comedic choice, to be
Okay,
honest.
fair enough.
Right. Okay. I want to watch Speed with Harry. Can I watch Speed with Harry? What do you think, guys? Go.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
No
I mean,
idea.
if you're that concerned, I'll maybe Google it. But I think
gonna
there's
say-
websites about is there sex in this movie or violence over. But I don't know.
pretty
It's hard to
sure
say.
there's
It's so
no-
long ago.
Pretty sure there's no shag. I don't think there's any proper violence in it, is there?
Yeah, I think it's probably fine.
I mean,
To my,
terrorists are
to my
taking over a
knowledge,
bus, Sean.
the bus doesn't blow up or crash.
Yeah.
Spoilers, fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
I mean,
Great,
it's one of those things.
bad as
There's,
everyone else, Sean. What's the
there's-
point now?
there's scenes of mild peril or something like that.
I
it's-
really want to watch Speed with Harry. I think we're going to watch Speed. We watched Oliver today. The musical from the 60s.
Oh, sorry. I just googled is Speed suitable for a 12-year-old or 11-year-old, and then it's come on with some weird websites which aren't actually related to the movie.
We watched Oliver today, and we were like, oh yeah, no, like I fucking love that film. I think it's so good. The music in it is brilliant, and the characters. There's some lines in it that are so fucking good that I love that film. But at the end of it, he murders the woman that we love throughout it, and then it looks like he's not hanging, but he looks like he's hanging at the end of the film, and it just went a little bit quiet in our front room, and we were like, "Oh, this feels a bit not nice."
I've got the lowdown on Speed. This is what parents need to know. This is a lot. It's a 1994 action movie, which blah 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 blah. The movie is filled with violent images: a fatal stabbing to the head, a decapitation, a bomb activated in a house which kills several people, including one of the heroes,
so
an
probably
elevator
from-
plunging 40 floors, a bus explosion, profanity
there is a
issues,
bus
including
explosion,
fuck
okay.
several times. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
I was-
sexual
I
jokes
was-
and references.
I was probably wrong then.
Yeah.
it's
I
fine.
remember the capitation in it now, and I remember that freaking me out as a kid. Yeah, no,
One
thanks, Matt.
very
Not gonna
brief
watch that.
partial nudity appears when a woman's skirt hikes up as she lifted it out of an elevator before it falls down a shaft. Anyway, so I
Films
would.
were weird, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
really
was
were.
yeah.
Weird.
Sounds like a no for me.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Well, we spoiled a load of shit there when we're supposed to be talking about spoilers.
Sorry if anyone's looking forward to a
Some people might
1994
hear
action
all that.
movie.
Some people might hear that list and be like, "That's a load of great reasons to watch the film Speed for the first time."
I still
sound good,
can't
actually.
think about that film without thinking about Homer Simpson.
Go on.
The famous
I'm not a
line
big
where he
Simpsons
goes,
guy.
"Oh man, there's a bit in it where he goes, oh, what's that film where the bus, if the bus goes over a certain speed, a bomb sets, and if it goes under that speed, it goes off. So they have to maintain the speed without going under that speed again. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down." It's just the best.
We watched
Fucking Simpsons are
Running Man
great.
again last night. That's a film.
Yeah.
Apparently,
It is a film.
Edgar Wright's doing
Hang
a
on,
new one
there's a
this year.
decapitation in that, isn't
Can't
there?
open in that. Yeah.
Your show of Isaac.
No, God, no, not with that.
Bloody
We
hell.
watched Scream
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah, we watched Human Centipede. No, the Edgar Wright Running Man thing's been running for years, as it were. Yeah, hopefully it happens at some point.
Blimey. I'll be interested to see how that turns out because the original more or less holds up.
Yeah, I liked it. I haven't seen it for many years, but
Oi, likes it. If there's one film you want to... Sorry, Matt. If there's one film you want to watch for your kid, what is it? Because there's definitely... Well, I've got two, but there's
As
one
in,
that stands up.
like right now, or like one that you're
No,
looking
like
forward
you
to
can't
watching?
wait to watch.
yeah,
It's-
there's only one for me. I mean, sorry,
Go on.
I've been trying for years to get her to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay.
And, Jill says it was too scary. But then we watched the bloody Harry Potter films, and like, as someone who doesn't give a fuck about Harry Potter, like, well, some of these are similar in terms of, the scary monsters. Anyway, I'm like, is it time? And we watched the trailer the other day, which is already, that's progress. I was like, hey. And she's like, I do, but not yet. I was like, the day we can start sitting down and watching those Lord of the Rings movies, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Hopefully in the next 25, 30 years.
Sean, have
See,
you got one?
it's-
Blade Runner.
Okay.
100%.
The original
I've never
or
actually
like,
seen
new one?
Blade Runner. Never seen Blade Runner.
You've never seen Blade Runner, Dave?
Oh, the new
Saturday
one
night,
is
baby.
so good. The new one, that's my comfort film. I've seen that so many times. The new one's just gorgeous in every way. The soundtrack, the acting. I love Ryan Gosling. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what the absolute ideal would be, to do both films back to back, but it's probably asking a lot.
James?
Yeah.
Well, now that Rachel's like 15, so actually like in this year I've watched quite a few things with her that I've always wanted to watch, like stuff like Terminator, like Aliens, stuff like that. Because
She saw Alien, didn't give a shit, didn't she?
Yeah,
She's
no,
like,
she
"That's
doesn't
not scary."
care. Doesn't care at all. Like she's
Isn't
watched.
Agent Alien an 18?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, that's
Awkward. Sounds like someone's going to prison, doesn't it?
hello, is that the police? Oh, that's a shame, James.
Would you download a car?
James probably would. He's such a rebel.
Mine has to be Sixth Sense. I just want to watch Sixth Sense with Harry to watch his little mind blow, and I've got this horrible feeling that he's going to go well, and it'll like straight
I
away,
just
and then
Googled
I'll
it,
just
and
turn it off.
apparently-
Yeah, I'll just turn it off.
I wonder if he would have known that just through like meme culture.
No,
or...
because I think that's gone quiet.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
think
all
that
gone,
thing's
isn't it?
gone quiet now.
Yeah, it's all the
So I
skibbity
think it'll
toilets
have
and
another.
stuff.
It is all
Yeah.
skibbity riz.
Brain
Yeah, it
rot
is all
memes.
I've always said
skibbity
that.
riz,
I've always said that.
You guys
Yeah,
come across
shit.
the old brain rot memes?
What's that? Isn't that just the Minecraft movie?
So I used the app I use to do stickers for WhatsApp. That's very good, Dave. Don't worry.
Cheers.
the
Well,
audience
fucking
are
acknowledge it then. Jesus Christ, left me out there hanging.
So the app I
Have to
use,
be
it's got
out there
like
hanging.
a load of templates, right? So you can like make it look like your face is in a toilet, or there's fun stuff like that. And there's this whole
Sounds dirty.
category that's called
Hilarious.
brain rot memes. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I remembered, a friend of the show, Gary Dutton's mentioned his daughter being into brain rot stuff. So I put loads of his face onto brain rot characters. And and he's like, oh yeah, Sam's going nuts. Like, she's asking if they've got like certain ones. So I looked it up. There's a whole like fandom wiki about brain rot stuff. And I was like, oh, apparently two of these characters that I've pasted you into, Gary, are actually enemies. And there's storylines, and it's just all bollocks. It's
Sounds
just,
great.
And I'm not saying, oh, it's shit, like look at the rubbish the kids are into. Like, it seems quite funny. Like, it's obviously completely light-hearted. they're just all these like shit sort of AI characters, and they've all got stupid names. And there's they have wars and stuff, and it's just, and you're reading it, I do feel like my mind is melting. The name is accurate.
Rotting, if you will. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not into that, but
Well, Google it.
maybe I
See
should
what
be.
you
Yeah.
think. See what you think. The next question comes from Indie Calls. He says, I've been playing
Right.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The graphics are great. The voice acting is superb. The cutscenes are fantastic. However, I'm not enjoying the gameplay. I'm getting knocked out too easily by the German soldiers. I'm finding it very frustrating as I love the Indiana Jones films. I'm looking up a YouTube video to see the rest of the story. It got me thinking, would you watch a film that was made up of computer game cutscenes? If this was just a film made up of cutscenes, I think I'd be very happy.
I have.
That's Final
watched a
Fantasy
film.
Spirits Within, isn't it?
No, I've watched a full
completely
film
original.
that is video game cutscenes. Try and have a guess what that film is. Does anyone know?
Well, I know
is-
Shenmue did this.
Yeah, correct, Sean.
Yeah.
James Farley came over to my house once and said, "What? This is before I'd played Shenmue."
Yeah.
And he showed me
Wow,
a
spoilers.
DVD of all the Shenmue cutscenes.
Yeah.
And I think it lasted about 3 minutes because I was pissing myself
'Cause you're
laughing.
too busy coming.
And James went, "Well, we're not watching it then. We're not watching it." And turned it.
Yeah.
I mean, what with no context, James? What were you hoping to get
No,
out of that?
I tried to explain to David that this was something that was quite important to me, and I wanted to share it with him. And then he was just laughing at it, so I just
Well,
had
you've
to
gotta
turn it
say,
off.
Yeah, it's like telling a bully that you're afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
James. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it was a terrible idea.
Also, it wasn't very good, James. So
I know it
wasn't
have
very
a
good,
go.
but-
Don't put it all on
Because
me.
didn't they? Because it was the Xbox version of Shenmue 2, right? And it was
Yeah.
obviously they'd done it on the understanding that Xbox players may not have played the original. Fair enough. Didn't they call it like Shenmue the movie? Or
Yes,
They
I
did.
make
They
it-
did
yes,
indeed.
they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's bold, isn't it?
absolutely dreadful. Yeah, so that is. Would I watch one though? No.
Come on, if
Like,
that's on YouTube.
I stitched together cutscenes. I don't think works at all. I can't imagine any game where that works. Like honestly, any game. I can't think of
No.
a single game where that will work as a pleasurable experience.
Because you would hope any good game, obviously, that the interactivity is key and is part of the story.
Yeah,
but
that's the
also,
context, right? That's the thing that stitches
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, those cutscenes were not designed to just be viewed like that one after another. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine that working in most cases.
Bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Like the gameplay adds the context, and then like the cutscenes often just do bits where it's easier to kind of top and tail it. But I wonder if any of the Kojima games could work, because I bet he's one of the people that would probably think, maybe if I exported these just as the movies.
The cutscenes in his games with the context doesn't work.
Yeah.
Taking even more context.
Having
out
said
of it
that,
is
I'm
not
very excited
good.
for Death Stranding too, because I came to that quite late, having
And that's the yoke.
Wow. I came to it late and loved it. You also did the same thing, didn't you, Sean? And you, James? Are we all excited for Death?
I was late to it. I need to play more of it because
I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with that
Yeah,
game.
I'll be there day one this time, because the first one was weird and wonderful.
Next question comes from, well, I don't think it does actually, but they've used the name Anthony Fantano.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Big
hello.
name.
World's busiest internet music nerd or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That fella.
Just wondered what David thought of the new Black Country New Road albums. I know he's a massive fan, and this must have been on heavy rotation in Peckham. I like the one that rips off Slint much more than the last one. Thank you. Also, thank you, James, for the podcast.
Peckham. I don't. That really took me by surprise. That bit. I like the fact that he's thinking that I'm sitting there, legs crossed, in a room in Peckham with a Millwall shirt on, listening to Black Country New Road. Yeah, I don't know. I love Black Country New Road. Those first two albums are fucking masterpieces, but they lost a big part of them when they lost Isaac. So I listened to the new one. Nancy, who tried to steal the night. I highly recommend to anyone actually listen to that song. It's fucking superb. It is a really devastating story song, but it's also musically brilliant. But yeah, no, it's. I think I've got to accept that they're never going to get back to the heights of the first two albums, and some people think that this is better. So that's up to them. Obviously, it's all opinions and stuff. But
Bit
yeah,
of an Elder
that's what I
Scrolls
said of it.
situation.
My yeah, my issue is that I don't know enough people around me that like this type of music, because I had the chance to see Black Country New Road down the road from where I work a couple of weeks ago, playing a very intimate set, and I could have gone to that, but I didn't because I didn't have anyone to go to. And I saw Black Country New Road do their Bush Hall recording on my own. It's the only time I've ever been to a gig on my own. John was supposed to come, but there was strikes that day, like rail strikes on that day. Never want to ever do that again. I don't want to go to a gig on my own again. It was horrible. But John went. John went. He said Geordie Greep, who is the lead singer of a... God, I sound like the guy from I Think You Should Leave now. But he's the lead singer of Black Midi, who then went to do his own thing. Listen to his latest album and you'll go, oh, what the fuck is going on here, right? Like, it's that sort of artist. And John suddenly... We bought tickets to go and see him last week, and John couldn't come up because he's busy doing other things. And he just went, do you want the tickets? And I went, John, can you think of a single other person that I could possibly take to this gig? And he went, nope. And I went, yeah, don't worry about it. It's like, I can't imagine turning around to a mate and saying, do you want to go and see this guy? And then it's just like, and I'm just going, right, guys, right?
That is probably my favourite track of the album, though.
It is a good,
If I was going to hear one again.
it is a good one.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
so
a
anyway.
gig with my dad on Thursday.
Did you really?
Sweet.
No, I'm going.
No, he's
this
going
week
to.
or This week.
Oh, who are
on
you
Thursday,
seeing?
Yeah.
Slipknot.
Seen Richard Dawson.
Slipknot, Richard Dawson.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a footballer in the 80s? A defender?
Possibly.
You thinking Michael
fact,
Dawson from
he was
Wolves?
I don't
Actually, it's
think
probably
he
not
was
even him.
Not the same guy, but when we put Running a Man on last night, in the opening credits, Richard Dawson came up. I was like, oh, fucking hell.
Oh, that's weird.
That's definitely not
It's
the same guy.
Craig Dawson before the one corrects me.
Okay. So how are you feeling about that? I can't imagine ever going to a gig with my dad.
Oh, no, it'd be fine. I've done it a few times before.
Oh, nice.
You've been to gigs with David's dad?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh,
We talk
just,
about
that
how much
was
we hate
very
David.
good. That was just classic comedy. Well done, Matt. That was just a good one. Look at him sipping his drink. He loves it when he does a good one. He does a little sip of his drink. Right, go on, next.
Next question. Oh, this is a tricky one. The next question comes from Pope.
Oh,
Hold on, was this
RIP.
sent today or before today?
It's clearly said before he passed.
Well, yeah, obviously, it can't be sent
Oh,
today.
No,
shit.
because
It's before he met JD Vance.
yeah, he killed him. That's real.
Every generation has games that are closely associated with it. The Wii has Wii Sports and Mario Galaxy. The Mega Drive has Sonic and Streets of Rage. Now the Switch is entering its sunshine years. What are the games tied to the console? You can't say Mario Odyssey as that's too obvious. And Mario Kart 8 and Zelda are technically Wii U games.
Fuck off then. What
Yeah,
sort
well,
of
yeah, but
question
also-
is this then?
Because
Pope?
surely the fact if there's a game that's like, oh, we can't have that because it's too obvious, surely that is the answer then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Wii Sports. Then you can't have Wii Sports, Pope.
I mean,
Fucking
Dead,
hell.
actually.
Well,
apart
no,
from
he's not
those-
saying it's too obvious. He's saying you can't have them because they're technically Wii U games, but they're still found their audience really on Switch, and
yeah.
also Tears of the Kingdom as
For
well.
me, it's Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. They're the two.
I think that's
Animal
fair.
Crossing.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on, that
but
was
also,
come on, that was a
on.
massive deal for the Switch. That was.
It was, but it was a.
I know
massive
you don't
deal.
like
Massive
it.
deal
but
for me
you know.
knowing what time it was for most of 2020.
Yeah,
No, it was disappointing though, James. You admit that. Like,
yeah,
you
it
know
wasn't.
that
It
that's a
wasn't. It
disappointment.
wasn't everything I wanted it to be.
Disappointment.
No, like not.
I
but
think
it
they
was still.
have to, for the next one, they have to really go for it. Like this next one needs to last years. They
It needs to
really
be-
should fucking plow into it. And I think, and I'm hoping, all I'm hoping for is that they didn't realize how big Animal Crossing is.
Yeah.
And when they release it for the next system, they're gonna go, this is the one that people are gonna buy Switch 2 for. Like people, no, I'm not saying like universally, but there will be a huge audience for the next Animal Crossing going, do you remember this? Come back, get a Switch 2
you
and
know-
fucking play this shit.
And they could clean up if they do some kind of. I'm going to hate it because it's
Yeah.
going to be awful. But if it's some sort of,
Subscription.
if it's a live service like style game, which is what it should be probably.
Yeah, it should
you know.
be, but they just didn't have the content for it this
Yeah.
one. But I mean, checking out yet, Animal Crossing New Horizons sold 47.5 million copies.
That's insane, isn't it?
That's what I'm
is
saying.
so much.
Did we? I don't know if we ever talked about what they eventually
Half of
did
those
with
were
them.
James Farley. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we ever talked about what they eventually did with the mobile one.
Yeah, they shut it. And,
Well, they shut
and
it,
then they
but
reopened it.
they
then
re-released
basically-
it.
Yeah, they put up a new version where it's just like it's a tenner and it's got everything in it.
We did actually do this as a news story short.
Did we? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, the New Horizons is the second highest selling game
chuckle.
on Switch.
James Farley's little chuckle then. Look, he's got one over on Sean and he's loving
No, it's 'cause
life.
people do that to me all the time. So I just
Fair enough. We can't begrudge you of that, James.
right, we've got a couple more. Virtual Boy. I've watched a few Digital Foundry videos about the Switch 2 and how its graphical power might compare to other consoles on the market in order to predict what kind of graphics to expect. They consistently said that the PS4 and the Steam Deck are good comparison points. How do you feel about those comparisons? Do they align with what you had expected or hoped? Or do you think the Switch 2 will be as outdated as the Switch was in just a few years? Great job. Thanks for the great work, as always.
I don't know if I agree that it's up to PS4 standards. When you look at when you look at Cyberpunk on that thing, and I mean Cyberpunk on PS4 did not look good.
No.
Do not get me wrong, but I did look at that and go, oh, that's like it's not 360, but I'm sure there are better looking games on the PS4.
maybe
Yeah,
I don't know.
apparently CD Projekt Red have done a lot of work to squeeze it onto the Switch 2.
Right.
I bet.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure. Uncharted at the time looked incredible on Uncharted 4 on PS4 looks amazing. But yeah, I mean, but as with all these things, it's less about the power, more power plus Nintendo's art direction and those things.
Nintendo will make it sing. Like
they can do a lot more with a lot less, frankly.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if I hear, oh, it's the same as a PS4 Steam Deck, I'm like, oh, great, it's old, isn't it? But it's never about that with Nintendo. So, I mean, I would have loved it to be a PS5. It's never going to be a PS5 level, so it's probably always going to be around that, really. So, not disappointing, but yeah, it's never really about that with Nintendo, is it?
What
So-
might be interesting
Sorry, go on, James.
is later on whereby, because at the moment there's this whole thing where if it's docked, there'll be like support for 4K like games and
Yeah.
stuff like that. How quickly the games will actually be
That'll
1080p
stop. Yeah.
Yeah,
instead,
pretty
but then
quickly, yeah.
but then they're using the extra power or whatever just so they can actually just get it
Run
on
the
there
thing.
at least.
Look, I'm looking forward to seeing how it works with the I still think playing indie games natively on the console is better than say playing them on the portal or whatever. So it'd be interesting to see how well it handles the latest indie games because they're getting more power intensive and we started that was the worst thing about the Switch is that we started seeing decent indie games clearly struggle compared to what we were playing on PlayStation and Xbox. So hopefully this gives it enough power to at least get us a fair few years of indie games on that system, because it's great playing on the Switch. So
Yeah, it's obviously
fingers
the best
crossed.
place, wasn't it, for that stuff?
Yeah,
And I think
it
that-
was. Yeah,
That plus the DLSS stuff they've got, can mean it might be technically this level of power compared to a certain console, but with the AI upscaling DLSS, I think it'll be fine. I think they'll do a lot with little.
cool.
Yeah, and I mean, and the comparison with the Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck. I try and play most stuff on there if I can, but I do have to be realistic about what it's going to run. Certainly, if I want to play it on the TV, something being verified on the Steam Deck means handheld mode. If you want to put it on the TV and run it at 1080p, 1440p or whatever, it might struggle. It's never a guarantee that's going to work. So if the Switch 2 is like similar power, but if there's indie stuff on there that I want to play, I'll probably prefer it to the Steam Deck because I know it's just going to work and I can play it on the TV and not have to think about, oh, well, shit, what resolution is it going to want to run at, etc., etc. So that ease of use has a lot of value as well. So, yeah, we'll see. Final
see.
question. Oh, sorry.
I said we will see.
We will see. Miriam Mendieta says, Dear TCGS QWERTY, David's mention of force majeure reminded me of the revealing conversation I had with a friend after watching the movie, wondering what we would do in that scenario. After last week's episode, I was left with the same question about the co-hosts. Imagine all four of you vacationing not on David's favourite Spanish terrace, but on K3, the snowy mountain from Donkey Kong Country 3. Who would run first instead of saving their co-hosts once the avalanche starts? Keep up the phenomenal work.
Question.
Sincerely, Maria.
I've got an answer, but I don't want to say it.
Why not?
I want you guys to go first. Who's the first to run off and not stay with the group? Who's the first to not show up regularly?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this year, it's Matt probably.
No way! You've had more days off than Matt.
I don't know if I have actually.
You're kidding
This year
me?
you have 100%. Matt's had 1 week off, I think. You've had at
I've
least 3.
I've had 2. I've had 2 weeks off this year.
Still more than Matt.
Yeah. Do the maths. Fucking hell, James. Also, I think you've had 3 weeks off, haven't you? I don't think it's 2. It don't matter.
I don't want to talk about it. All right, well, who do you think then, Matt?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Explain the question.
So basically, if we were in an avalanche, which one of us is going to bolt first without caring about what happens to the other 3?
Who's going to
Oh,
save
right.
themselves first?
Oh, that's not a very nice question, is it?
It's not. It's horrible.
no,
it's a horrible
not, but
question.
that's part of the fun,
Question.
isn't it?
Well, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Is this because you know it'd be you?
No, why would I run off to what? To what end? You know, have you seen me on a
Save your
mountain,
life.
David? I'll die.
Okay,
I'm safer in that cabin.
Okay, what's your answer then, Matt? You got to give an answer. Who's the first one to run off and not care about the group?
I'm not going to answer.
Well, I'm going to push you for an answer, Matt.
It's not about. Oh God,
It's
this
fine.
is-
You can just say me. It doesn't matter. Just
Okay, James.
say it. Okay, fine.
James.
Okay, James, what's your answer?
Me. It'd be me.
Right, Sean, what's your answer?
So I'm just thinking about, co-hosts who've spent a lot of time on the show having to defend, shall we say, morally grey behaviour, and I'm thinking serial theft. I'm thinking.
Oh, God,
I'm
yeah.
thinking children's Switch 2 pre-orders.
That is a good point.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
So
Which one?
it's a toss-up between the two of them. Actually, it's probably Dave. It'll probably turn out to be Dave.
Oh,
And-
leave
and-
off, mate.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
no one will-
I've
no one will
tried to
believe it
headbutt
afterwards.
The fucking avalanche.
No one will believe it afterwards.
Oh, leave off.
You say you're trying to headbutt the avalanche?
Yeah, every time we've had a problem on this show with something, who steps up?
David's
It's
headbutted
me
someone.
every fucking time. Do you remember when that Animal Crossing website started having a go at us? All right, admittedly, it was
Well,
my
hang on.
fault.
Yeah.
But who
Yeah, hang on.
stepped up?
That doesn't
to
count.
defend the
Yeah, I
show?
remember that.
Yeah. Come on, man. You know it ain't going to be me. So don't even say it as a joke answer.
I think I'd probably do whatever I can to save everyone. So if it means leaving to get help, I'll do that. If it means staying to preserve
actually
life, I'll
believe
do
you.
that.
I believe you.
Staying to
You don't give a
preserve
fuck about me. But I do like the idea of David headbutting an avalanche. I don't think that's been done in history. So
There's
I
a
think I could
T-shirt
do
there.
it.
Yeah.
Dave just being like, I'm going to parry it.
I'd be good at headbutting an avalanche, actually. Thank you.
well, let's get you to an indoor ski centre and find out.
Get that down to Xscape in MK. Are we done?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is all the questions.
Good. Let's get to socials.
Yes, there's no streams this week, unfortunately. James is still away, but next week James and I will be back on Split Fiction and Sean's bit as well. So no streams this week, but you can still go to twitch.tv/TCGSco and follow us and be notified for when we do go live, for this episode or for the pod or for future streams. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch account, connect them, we get something called Twitch Prime Gaming, and they give you one free subscription to any channel you want. So want to go to our channel and give us your free subscription you can't keep. And we really appreciate those that do that. If you miss the streams live or want to see the podcast every week, you can go to YouTube, search TCGS on YouTube to find what we're doing over there. And the website is tcgs.co, which has links to our social channels on Blue Sky, Discord, Patreon, the store. It's all on there.
Definitely follow us on Instagram. Definitely follow us on Blue Sky this week, because if all goes correctly,
Yeah.
goes as planned, Matt is getting his tattoo on Sunday,
Yes.
and we will be posting up pictures and bits and pieces.
Sunday is tattoo day. I'm going to the football on Saturday, so I've no idea what state I'm going to be in, but it's going to be a busy old weekend. And hopefully by Sunday evening, I'll have a tattoo of a Wookiee on the side of my ass.
Also,
Said no one
subscribe
ever.
to our YouTube channel, because we are preparing a video. There will be a video where you will see for the first time the design and Matt's tattoo on his arse, side of his arse.
Side of my ass.
Anyway, thanks for living it. We will catch you next week for some more video game chit chat. We hope you have a lovely week. Just a thought. Goodbye.